Hey, it's about time somebody did something about beautifying the scenery around here.
Hey, fight that little blonde, Skip. Boy, I'd sure like to share my foxhole with her.
What about the rest of the pigeons, Skipper?
Well, old lead bottom doesn't catch you. It's open season, boy. Oh, come on, Chuck, you better get moving. That blonde is naked there, you know. You better get to her before she starts drifting.
Yeah, well, I was just waiting for the smoke to clear, Skip, before I fire my first shot. Afternoon, Ensign Parker, executive officer on the 73. I thought you might need a little muscle with your gear.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Mr. Parker.
Chuck.
Well, Chuck, I'm Georgiana Comstock.
Well, welcome aboard, George.
Georgiana.
Oh, yeah, Georgiana. Yeah. Well, if anybody doesn't look like a George, you sure don't. I'm gonna get your legs. Gear. Skip. Hold up the war, will you? Got a little lady to help out here.
Couldn't we ride to the nurse's quarters?
Huh? Oh, no, that's Captain Binghamton.
Jeep. And, he'd have us in irons if he ever found out. But, well, I guess it all comes under the spoils of war, so hop in. I'll just throw these up here for you. Hope you haven't got anything breakable in there. Well, here we go. Oh, boy. Knock it off. As you were. If Captain Binghamton never hears that.
That's not going to do any good. Try under the hood. The wires under the hood.
Parker, what are you doing in my Jeep?
Well, sir, just right now I'm trying to get out of the wheel.
Well, get out of the wheel. Turn that thing off, you numbskull.
Right.
Hurry up about it. Captain Wally Binghamton at your service, my dear.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Lieutenant Comstock, and this is all my fault.
Oh, that's quite all right, Lieutenant. I'm only sorry I wasn't here to offer you the Jeep myself. Get the still off the horn!
I'm trying, sir.
Here, let me help you, Chuck.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Why couldn't you have done that?
Well,
I'm sure that he could have fixed it himself, Captain. Couldn't you, Chuck?
yeah, sure, Captain. It's very easy. All you gotta do is just loosen this little gizmo here. Look. Stand back.
This just came in from Binghamton, Skip. Orders from Mr. Parker.
Orders from Mr. Parker. I wonder if that gold-braided stuffed shirt has up his mind. Oh, no.
What is it, Skip?
Did he really clobber Mr. Parker?
Now, lead bottom's just getting even for that oil bath. Hey, listen to this. Ensign Charles Parker to report to the main base to be the officer in charge of basic training for the new nurses.
You're kidding.
You mean instead of getting 30 days, he gets to get all those dames?
Have you ever stopped to think about Mr. Parker's morale, huh? It's just like being taken out of action and told, go sit with the girls.
Well, I know what would do for my morale, Skip. Boom!
Boom, hot lips. All right, listen to me, boys. This is what we're going to do. We got to build up this assignment. We got to make him believe that this assignment is second only to McCarthy. You got it? And we build it up big, you understand? And loud. All right, here we go. Hey, Chuck, front and center.
You mean Mr. Parker got the job?
I thought it was a toss-up between Halsey and Nimitz.
The Secretary of the Navy asked for him?
Yes, sir.
Great for Mr. Parker.
What's up, Skip?
Oh, hi, Chuck. Listen, you got a new assignment in addition to your regular orders. Here, congratulations, buddy.
Me? What the... Give basic training to girls?
Oh, well, no. This is a pretty top-level job now, Chuck. You know, anybody can toughen up a bunch of guys, but it takes a special type of He-Man to make a soft little girl into a hard combat-trained nurse. Yes, sir.
Guts. That's what you need. Guts.
Guts, that's right. And that's an awful lot of responsibility to put on a man's shoulders, you betcha. Well, here, look at this. First assignment for tomorrow. Judo and self-defense. Now, that's rough.
That's rough.
You bet it is, boy. Well, I guess if the job has to be done, it might as well be done by me, huh, Skip? Boy, hey, now Georgiana will see the other side of me. The hard-as-nails fighting man.
Only me, Papa-san.
Yeah, well, I knew it was him all along. I was just showing you guys I'm ready to spring into action at any time. See that? Always alert. Always on balance. Make sure that nobody comes in from behind. Ha-ha.
Hey!
Stuck up. Okay, that's all the demonstration for today. The class is over. All right now, men. Girls. As you know, we are in a combat zone. Now, it is my job to check out the shapes that you're in. I mean, it's my job to make sure that you're in good shape. Attention.
Carry on, at ease.
Right. At ease. At ease.
I'm at ease.
She is at ease.
Get on with it.
Yes, sir. Get on with it. Now, lieutenants, I am going to show you how to properly defend yourself by giving you a demonstration in the highly technical art of jiu-jitsu. Now, could I have a volunteer, please? Lieutenant Comstock, front and center. Now, the idea is to offset your enemy with a simple yet skillful maneuver. For instance, taking the forearm and...
Now, if you'll just pretend that you're the enemy and grab me from behind, I'll demonstrate my technique. Now, the enemy sneaks up on me, and when he grabs me... Oh, no, you should have used all your...
Chuck, I'm sorry, but you said to.
That's perfectly all right, Lieutenant. The ensign is capable of taking care of himself. Parker, you numbskull, you're supposed to be showing them how it's done.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I guess my leverage was a little off. I should...
Your leverage is off, your pea brain is off. Up, 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 up.
Well, I guess I got my leverage back, sir.
Why me? Why is it always me?
Chuck! Hey, Chuck! Hey, Chuck! Hey, Chuck, you got a visitor, boy. Georgiana came all the way over here just to see you.
Georgiana?
Yeah.
Boy, if it's anybody I don't want to see, it's her.
Oh, now, come on, Chuck. I think you're being overly sensitive about the whole thing.
Overly sensitive? Let's face it, Skip. The girl I tried to impress is a better man than I am.
And for the 10th time, I'm telling you, it was a lucky throw. It could have happened to anybody. That's what she came over here to tell you.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was a lucky throw, that's all.
Hey, you know, maybe you're right, Skip.
I bet you in a fair fight I could have taken her 2 out of 3 falls.
Well, of course you could, slugger. Now, come on. You're the executive officer of PT-73, and she's just a puny little nurse. So come on, boy. Get squared away. Plot your course. Yes, sir. Start your engines up, anchor.
Jill, that kind of talk.
Well, Lieutenant, Ensign, well, the place is yours. Well, why don't you show around, Chuck?
Show her.
Yeah. We'll see you later. You go ahead now. Now, come on, boys, let's go. Come on, will you? Let's go. Come on, will you move? Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Oh, well, I just thought it might be of interest for you to see how we combat men live.
Oh, it is.
This might be a point of interest. This is a 50 caliber machine gun. Oh, and this is an anti-aircraft gun emplacement. And that's a Japanese Zero. Now, see, when they attack... Japanese Zero! Hey, sneak attack! How about it? Take cover!
All right, Scamp. You stay down. I'm going to try and get some guns on the boat.
Hey, you shot down that Zero.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, honest.
Hey, good shooting, Mr. Park.
Congratulations, Chuck. I'm proud of you, boy.
Don't congratulate me. She did it.
Skipper, he did it. Mr. Parker put in for a transfer.
He what?
Fuji here found that carbon copy on his desk.
Oh, this is just great. Do you guys realize what'll happen to Chuck if he transfers out?
We know. Without us to look after Mr. Parker.
Stop. It's too horrible to even think of.
We gotta get him to change his mind and fast.
But how?
How? Georgiana!
Skip, if you flip.
Why? Why, in the name of Nimitz, would Parker put in for a transfer?
I don't know, sir. He just asked me to give it to you.
I don't know, sir. He just asked me to give it to you. Doesn't it smell fishy to you?
It smells more like beer to me, sir.
Well, I did have one with my lunch, but I don't see what... Oh, never mind a beer. I tell you, I don't like this. For 1 year, I've been trying to break up that gang of pirates, and then all of a sudden, very politely, one of them walks in here and asks to leave. Now, why? Why is that? Why is McHale going in the hospital?
I don't know, sir.
I don't know, sir. Don't you know anything? Find out what it's all about. It might have something to do with this transfer. I want to know what they're plotting.
Yes, sir.
Wally, if I didn't have you on my side, I don't know what I'd do.
So remember, honey, all you gotta do is make like little Miss Helpless, huh? Then when the boys come in for the big finale, dressed up like wild and woolly headhunters, you scream, they run off, and you make like Chuck's a big hero for saving your life. You got it?
It sounds like a wild and woolly plan, all right. I only hope it works.
It will, if you don't forget one thing.
What's that?
This time, whatever happens, just make sure that he's Tarzan and you Jane, huh? Come on, huh? Well, that's about all, except, are you sure you'll be able to make it now?
Oh, I'll be down at your boat no matter what.
Okay, and we'll sneak you aboard, and it's off to Paliloa. See you later.
What do you think you're doing?
Chuck, come on, boy. It's a scramble. We got a mission.
I'm afraid you're going to have to go without me, Skip. I'll put in for a transfer.
Yeah, well, I heard all about that. Until your transfer comes through, you're still part of my crew. Now, come on, get moving. Let's go.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on now, belay that. There's an epidemic on one of the islands, and they put an emergency call for a nurse. So come on, climb on board on a double. All right, let go forward. Let go aft. Let's go. Take her, get us out of here.
Captain Binghamton, sir.
Hi, Captain Binghamton, remember?
Oh, yes.
What's the matter, Carpenter? Did they raid the slumber party?
Sir, they put me out of the hospital. They thought there was something wrong with my head, sir.
Is that what they thought? Well, there's going to be something wrong with your head if you don't have news for me about McHale's.
Oh, I found out what they're up to, all right, sir. Nurse Comstock is sneaking off with Commander McHale and his crew, sir. They're sneaking off to Palilo Island.
And the request for a transfer by Parker was just a smokescreen, huh? They're off on some orgy.
That's right, sir. Isn't it terrible?
Terrible? What are you talking about? It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Finally got that rat pack. Carpenter, get my boat. We've got a party to crash.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Carpenter, put on your party things, would you? Steady she goes, Christy. That's Palliloa that we're approaching. I got a little cramp in my foot. Condition red.
Complete reports an enemy sub in this area.
Battle stations! We got a bandit, boys. Battle station!
All right, you heard it, Skip. Balance stations.
Well, what about me?
We've got orders to put the lieutenant ashore, Skip.
By golly, that's right. We can't take a lady into combat. Christy, head for the beach. All right, prepare to launch the life raft.
All right, you heard it, Christy. Head her in there. Prepare to launch the life.
Now, I want you to take good care of the lady, sir. Come on now, honey. Over you go. Easy does it. There you go. Okay.
Skip, what about that sub?
No. Look, boy, you're the only one I can trust to protect the watch while we're gone. So come on now, over you go.
Skip, alone on an island with her.
Oh, now, look, ours not the question why. Ours is just getting the raft with the lieutenant. Will you? Come on, boy. Let's go.
Chuck, I'm so frightened. Please stay close to me.
You frightened?
Yes. Here we are all alone on a strange island out in the middle of nowhere. Thank goodness you're here to defend me. 'em. Well, I think I sprained my ankle or something. Oh, but you'll fix it, won't you, Chuck?
Me? Well, I'm not the medic. You're a nurse.
Well, yes, I know, but I'm all upset and nervous. No, I just can't think of what to do. And you're so calm and cool.
Well, now, if we both stay calm, maybe we can think of something else.
Oh, there! Now, why didn't I think of that? Chuck, you are just wonderful.
Think of what?
Well, the way you thought to use that handkerchief to tie up my ankle.
I did. Yeah, I thought. Well, sit up here. I'll...
Oh!
How I thought of that? Which one is it?
It doesn't matter. Oh, the right one. Oh, Chuck. Oh, that's one. Oh, Chuck.
Swear not.
Oh, it's okay.
Yep, we're almost back to where we dropped them off.
Yeah, I know. All right, kill your engines. We'll drift in. All right, you headhunters. Come on, boys. You're going out in about 5 minutes. Trick or treat.
Anyone for people burgers?
Come on now, get moving, will you? Georgianne will be waiting for you.
Skip, we got company.
Oh, no. Binghamton, and how do you know where we are?
Yeah. See you around, guys. Gotta see a man about a shrunken head.
Captain? Oh, McHale, I really got you on your saltwater tramps this time. Did you find that girl, Carpenter?
No, sir. But, sure, look what I did find. Come on.
What in the blazes are they dressed for? Now I've seen everything.
Well, those are their costumes, sir. Yes, sir. They're rehearsing for the Tar Tuba Follies. Yes, sir.
Rehearsing out here in the middle of the Pacific?
Uh-huh.
We don't want anyone stealing our routines, Captain.
Swan it! Yeah! Now cut that out! McHale, this is one folly of yours that is going to have a guaranteed run, about 20 years, I would say. Now, where's the girl?
Hell, are you there? Oh, my ankle. Oh, Chuck, you did it. You found us food. Oh, I wish I could have seen you climbing that tree just to get some food for little me. Going higher and higher and higher.
I picked these off the ground. I hope I can get them open now. They're tough little babies, but if you hold them just right, you can... sometimes if you pound them together... Don't worry, I'll get them open for us.
Oh, what's that over there?
What?
Oh, look. See, the leaves are still moving.
Oh, it's probably the skipper coming back. Hey, Skip! We're over here! Hey, you guys!
Oh, there it is again. Oh, Chuck, I see them. Oh, they're a horrible painted headhunters. Oh, protect me.
Oh, don't lose your head. I mean, keep your head and your feet ready to go. All right, guys, come out.
Oh, they're all around us. They're over there.
Okay, you guys, come on. I got you covered. Where'd you see?
Chuck, I was just trying to help you.
Boy, have I ever been a prize sap. Well, go ahead, admit it. This whole thing's a big frame-up to make me look like a big man.
Chuck, you are a big man.
Yeah, sure. I bet you didn't even hurt your ankle either. And I bet you that the skip and the whole crew are in on this thing.
Chuck, look out, Japanese!
Oh, you think you're playing with kids? Don't you think I know Tinker and Happy dressed up in some of Gruber's old souvenir uniforms?
They're real. Do something.
Oh, sure. All right, come on, you guys. The show's over. Now, look, Georgiana, I said just about a... Now, ow! Who does it? I said cut it out, and you can cut out that phony double talk.
I tell you, they're real.
Oh, sure. Don't you think I know a real Japanese when I see one? And I see one. All right, guys, stand back. Now, I mean it. I got you covered. Okay, stand back now, you guys. I'm warning you. Well, now, look, shouldn't we talk this over, you guys?
Chuck, are you all right?
What happened?
Oh, this is horrible. I thought that they were going to kill you, so I mean you. Yes, you, Chuck. Oh, you were just wonderful. You knocked out those two Japanese.
I did? I mean, I did. Boy, how about that? Did you see me?
I think I'm going to faint.
Huh? Oh, isn't that just like a woman? He'll do it every time.
Now, Captain, before you go any further, sir, let me explain.
I'll explain. McHale, you couldn't wiggle out of this one if you put on a grass skirt and did a hula.
Oh.
Hey, boy, did you guys ever miss the action? Hi, Skip. Hi, Captain.
Hi, Captain. Me. Who are these Japanese?
Well, we found them up in the hill. Those guys are the spotters that the whole fleet's been looking for.
Good work, Chuck. Hey, what happened to Georgiana?
Oh, she's gonna be all right. She just fainted. You know how women are.
No, I don't know how women are. What's she doing here in the first place? Now I want the whole truth.
Oh, the truth. Yes, sir, the truth. Well, you see, we used her as a decoy. That's it, to flush out the nip. We better get going, Captain. These prisoners have to be delivered to Complete. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you better get your prisoners moving.
Oh, I don't understand this, but I'm not going to argue in front of foreigners.
After you, Captain.
All right, here we go. Come on, let's go.
Chuck, you need any help?
No, I can manage, Skip.
Oh, what a man. What a man, eh, boys?
want this base 100% shipshape.
Yes, sir. And good luck to you, sir.
Luck?
Well, yes, sir. Every time Mr. Barrett devotes one of his newspaper columns to a man, he seems to get promoted.
I couldn't care less.
But in the last 6 months, sir, it's happened 3 times.
4.
That's Admiral Brawley, Commander Simpson.
You're forgetting that young hot rodder on the PT-109. He became a full lieutenant.
Hi, Captain. You want to see me?
I never want to see you, McHale, but it doesn't seem that I have any choice. We're having a very important visitor here tomorrow, McHale. You know who it is?
Yes, sir. Whit Barrett. Well, I was looking over Carpy's shoulder when he was typing the dispatch.
Are there no secrets in this Navy? Well, anyway, I want to show Mr. Barrett a very taut ship when he gets here. Therefore, I want you to keep those pirates of yours confined to your island.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Especially that numbskull Parker. Where is he now?
Oh, well, he's picking up your Jeep, sir, at the motor pool. He heard it was ready, and he wanted to save you a trip.
Well, it's about time he did something for our side for a change.
Oh, well, look, Captain, you just give that Mr. Parker a chance, and in a pinch, he'll come through, sir.
Morning, Captain. Watch your brakes.
Now, look, Captain, don't be upset. Now, I'll get my crew on it, and we'll have it patched up in no time at all.
McHale, get out of here and take this dim-witted drag racer with you. Just as soon as Whit Barrett leaves, sir, I'm going to transfer him out of here.
Oh, now, look here, Captain.
Did you say Whit Barrett is coming here?
Hey. Yes, I said Whit Barrett is coming here. And I want him to think this is a naval base, not the Indianapolis Speedway.
That's a good one, sir. Old Whit would have laughed at that one. He's got a great sense of humor.
Oh, does he? Well, I don't. Now, you button your lip and... How do you know he's got a great sense of humor?
Oh, he and I are old hometown buddies. Why, before he made the big time, I used to be his copy boy in the Chagrin Falls Gazette. After work, we'd go next door in the bar and have a couple drinks.
You and Whit Barrett used to drink together?
Well, not exactly. He'd have a bourbon and soda, and I'd have a Shirley Temple. But we always said Skol.
We know him then, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're old pals. Yeah, well, he used to say I appeal to his sense of humor.
Oh, well, Skol, Ensign, you appeal to mine, too. I mean, oh, yes. Can I help you out of there, Chuck? Don't worry about that. You know, I'd like to have you around here more.
Oh, but no, that's not possible, sir. The transfer, remember?
Quint, don't you know when your old commanding officer's just fooling around?
Oh.
Right, Chucky?
Right, Captain.
You know, Chuck, I think that you're wasting your talents. You know that, boy? Anyone could drive a Jeep through a wall, you know? But how many men are capable of handling a job like public relations?
Public relations?
Just decided. I want you for my public relations officer.
Gee, did you hear that, Skip?
Loud and clear, yes. Well, now, Chuck, maybe with your influence, you could interest Mr. Barrett in doing a story on Captain Binghamton.
Oh, no. I wouldn't want Barrett to do a column on me. I'm much too modest a man for anything like that. Why, it'd be terribly embarrassing.
Well, now, don't you worry, Captain. With my influence, I assure you that Whit won't write a word about you.
You do, now, If a newspaper man needs copy, who am I to deny it to him? And who are you? You shouldn't do it either. Because if you do, you're going to get the fastest transfer in the history of Taratupa. Make myself clear, Chuck?
Sure thing, Wally.
Here we go.
Bye-bye, Captain. Keys are in the Jeep.
That's murder. Why would anyone want to write about the captain?
Yeah, he's about as dull as you can get. Even his name is dull. Wallace Burton Binghamton.
I once had a disease with a more colorful name.
You know, a good nickname would sure help. Look at all the publicity on Bull Halsey and Blood and Guts Patton.
Yeah, and what about Mad Dog Yamamoto?
Christ! Hey, you sparked me onto something. That's the angle.
Yeah.
A name, sure. And I got the perfect name for Captain Binghamton.
Jolly Wally Binghamton?
Well, now, sir, we got to make you a colorful character. We got to build up your public image.
But Jolly Wally, that sounds like a candy bar. Get off of my desk.
Well, now, sir, it's more than a name. It's an attitude you have to take. Jolly Wally Binghamton, a man who laughs in the face of adversity, smiles when the going is roughest, chuckles where others may cry.
You think you'd go for a thing like that?
Well, not only Barrett, sir, but the whole country. Why, it'll be in all the papers, radio broadcast. Really, sweep the country.
Sweep the country?
Oh, yeah.
Sit on the desk, boy. All I have to do is laugh and smile and chuckle?
Yeah. But I know it's going to be kind of hard at first, sir, but you just have to practice a little bit. Sir, could you give me a little laugh now just to see what one would sound like?
It's kind of a combination laugh and chuckle, I do.
Well, sir, maybe we ought to do the Stanislavski method. Think of something funny, like your wife leaving you.
Yes, I can see it.
Honey, let's see if you can laugh in the face of adversity.
Why would you do a thing like that? Just when I get to like you, you do a dumb thing
Wait a
like
minute,
that.
Jolly Wally Binghamton.
How you been? I'm supposed to...
Here he comes, Skip, the great Whit Barrett.
Hey, Chuck, are you sure he's going to go for this Jolly Wally stuff? I don't know. If this thing backfires...
Now, look, Skip, I got the captain all worried, so don't get briefed.
What?
I mean, I got the captain briefed, so don't get worried.
Oh.
Hey, hi, Whit, remember me?
Not little Chucky Parker. Well, how are you, old boy?
Well, it's Ensign Charlie Parker now, base public relations.
Oh, Ensign, huh? Well, that should add another 3 years to the war.
That's what I mean by a sense of humor, Skip. Oh, this is my skipper, Commander McHale.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, you're going to love it around here. We got a CO that's a barrel of laughs.
Yeah, well, he's a real colorful character. I'm sure he'll give you a great story.
Good. Take me to your leader.
Well, we don't have to, really. He's coming to see you, though. Come on.
Oh, wonderful.
Stop here. You addle-headed nitwit.
Whit, I'd like you to meet our skipper, Jolly Wally Binghamton. Nice to meet you, Captain.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Barrett. I forgot. Give my congratulations to the motor pool. They really lined those brakes this time.
Captain, your hat.
Oh, my $25 hat is ruined. Stay look here.
I've been around this war zone about 7 months, Captain Binghamton, and...
Just call me Jolly.
Sure thing, Jolly. As I was saying, I never met anyone quite like you.
Yeah, well, a man who can laugh in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Hurry! Hurry! Take cover! Hurry! Let me
Chuck, take care of Mr. Barrett. I'll go to the boat. Hey, Bert, where's all the guys? Back in the face, kid. There he comes now. Let's get him.
Open up! Open up!
Oh, well, I can't, Captain. It's jammed.
Well, I could get killed out here.
Bob, someplace else.
You have to walk this way.
Well, Pickett says the engines are okay. How you doing, Burge? Well, the gun cart got chopped up pretty bad, Skip, but I fixed it. Good, good.
Uh-oh. Here comes Laughing Boy. Now, look. Let's make him look good, even if it hurts, right?
Ah, Mr. Barrett, Captain. Well, sir, I'm sorry about our little visitor up there.
Oh, that's all right. Most interesting air raid I ever been through.
Oh. It was a million laughs. Thank you, Commander. Well, Mr. Barrett, now I'm going to show you how our boats are combat ready at all times. Now, right over here, we've got... Oh, stupid!
I'm sorry, sir.
He's a lovable fella. Oh, I haven't had so much fun in years. Extra beer for everybody. Extra beer. Oh, don't worry about that.
Man, the extinguisher in the captain's pants are on fire.
You can say that again.
Fire's out, Captain. Fire's out.
I'm so sorry about that, sir. That's all right. Accidents will happen. And now, Mr. Barrett, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to check into the infirmary. I think I have second-degree burns.
Okay, Tinker. Start your engines.
Skip, how about letting me take command of the boat? I'd like to impress Wit, too, you know.
Okay, go ahead, Chuck.
Bon voyage.
Okay, full speed ahead.
Hey! Use your engines! You forgot to cast on your mooring lines! Captain! Captain! Are you all right, sir?
I'm drowning.
Captain Binghamton!
Fun, McHale, don't you ever knock.
Oh, well, now, remember Jolly Wally?
Oh, that's right, Jolly. Don't you? I'm knocking off of that Jolly Wally stuff. It's been almost 3 weeks since that draft-dodging correspondent was here. And there hasn't been a word about me in the papers.
Well, that's what we came to talk to you about, sir. The paper just arrived in the mail, and it's got your story in it.
My story's in that paper? Oh, don't just stand there. Read it to me quickly, quickly, quickly.
Sir, a dispatch just arrived for you.
Oh, belay that, Carpenter, belay that. Hurry, read it aloud.
But, sir, this is very...
Be quiet, listen to this. I want you to know what kind of a man you're serving under. Read.
A report from a PT base somewhere in the South Pacific. That's our base. I spent a day with a commanding officer known to his men as Jolly Wally Binghamton. I'd met a good many COs in my travels through the war zone, but none quite the equal of Jolly Wally.
My boy, you're going to get a promotion for this.
I swear, Chuck.
Thank you, sir. Now, in the course of my day with this most extraordinary CO, I watched him pitched out of a Jeep on his head and come out laughing. During an enemy attack, he stood outside of a bomb shelter and laughed as he was strafed by enemy gunfire. I watched him laugh again as he backed into a welder's torch, and later, when the dock was pulled out from under him by one of his own PT boats, he laughed with joy as he almost drowned. Boy, that was a good day. In my opinion, he, well, it gets pretty dull after that, sir, so I won't read any more.
What do you mean, dull? What is dull about that? I find it very exciting. Read. It's not dull. Give it to me. I'll read it. Dull. You don't even know what's... In my opinion, the lives of our fighting boys should not be entrusted to a laughing hyena like this. I think he's been out there too long and he should be investigated.
Well, you know what they say in the newspaper game, sir? Even bad publicity is good publicity.
That's right, sir, and they spelled your name right, too. No P.
Oh, no, Pete! A story like that could ruin me. Why, the Navy Department could send somebody out here to investigate me to find out if I'm mentally competent to command this base.
Oh, sir, then you've already read this dispatch.
Yes, I've read this. What dispatch?
Well, this one, sir, from Comfleet to Captain Wallace Binghamton. It says, stand by for examination by fleet psychiatrist at 1700 today to determine your fitness for combat command.
Psychiatrist?
Sir, if you want to forget about my promotion, it's all right with me.
Promotion? I can lose my command over this, Parker, and if I do, I want to tell you one of my last acts is going to be to break you down to apprentice seaman and ship you to the Aleutians in your skivvies.
Now, calm down, Captain. This may not be as bad as it looks, sir.
Yeah, now there still may be a way out of this, public relation-wise, So now let's not lose our heads.
Don't lose our heads, he says. Don't lose our heads. Don't lose our heads. No, I can kill you, flea-brained nitwit! Captain, wait!
Wait a minute! What happened?
Well, can't you see? Captain's flipped.
Well, I just saw the dispatch about the fleet psychiatrist.
Well, that's what did it.
I can kill you, nitwit! Stop running, that's an order!
That man needs something to calm him down. You know, a tranquilizer.
Hey, Molly, that's it. Tranquilizers. Go get them, will you, honey? Lots of them.
What a war. Captain Binghamton?
Who is it? Who's there? Who is that?
It's Commander Turner, Captain. I thought you might like to have some hot milk. I also brought you some tranquilizers.
I don't want any tranquilizers for nervous people. Who needs tranquilizers?
Well, I'll just leave them for you in case you change your mind. Take 2.
Captain Binghamton?
What is it? What?
Sir, I just got a call from the airfield. The psychiatrist plane will be landing in 30 minutes. Are you all right, sir?
Of course I'm all right. I wish everybody would quit asking me if I'm all right. Get out of here.
Permission to use the radio, but I don't think this is a good time to see the old man. Besides, the doc will be here any minute.
Now, look, Skip, I think we ought to tell him about radio and Whit Barrett for that retraction. It might calm him down.
Maybe. Boy, I sure hope Molly got him that tranquilizer.
Ensign Parker requests permission to speak to the commanding officer.
Oh, come on. Help me get him out of this wastebasket.
You're the wonder who threw him away.
Come on. Captain, come on, boy. Wake up.
You're worried about being relaxed.
Chuck, go find his clothes. Go on, I'm a double. Captain, come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, before that psychiatrist gets here. Come on, you gotta pull yourself together. Come on, Captain.
Hey, wake up, Captain.
Come on, let's get his shirt on. Come on up, boy. I'll take one arm, you take the other. Hey, you don't suppose that pill that Molly gave him could have knocked him out so cold, do you? I don't know, Skip. Got him in. Put his pants on. All right. There you go. That's you, stupid! On him, that's it. All right, come on. All right, I'll get him some black coffee. Take it easy now. Yeah, Captain. What'd you do with his head? Come on, Captain. Come on, boy. Come on. Get this black coffee in here.
Boy, if he were any more relaxed, he'd be dead. Who's there?
Captain Saunders of the Medical Corps.
Oh, talk about being dead. We are. Hey, stall him. I'll take Binghamton in this other room and try to bring him to.
Good afternoon, Captain Binghamton.
Well...
You are Captain Binghamton, aren't you? Calm now, Captain. That's a very simple question.
Captain? Why, yes. Well, yes, it is. Yeah, it's quite a simple question. Well, 1,700 hours, cocktail time. What do you say we go down to the club and have a couple drinks? You coming?
Captain Binghamton, I have to be back at the airstrip by 1800. So if you don't mind, we will proceed at once with this examination.
Glass of pop, maybe?
Yeah, you know, Captain Binghamton, you're very young looking for a man in your position.
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, our whole family's kind of young looking. Baby faces young. Well, my father didn't shave till he was 35. Neither did my mother.
I have a notation here that you were pitched right out of your Jeep, and yet you came up laughing. Do you always laugh when you get hurt?
Well, actually, I didn't get hurt. I landed on my head.
Captain Binghamton! I just came by to see how you were doing. Oh, excuse me, sir. My name is Lieutenant Commander McHale.
Captain Saunders, now, if you don't mind, I'd like to continue this examination in private.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll leave.
Oh, well, then why don't we all go down to the officers' club and have a drink?
Is that all you men do on this base? Drink? Commander, I'm sure you'll excuse us while we continue with this examination.
What's going on here?
Now, who was that?
That was the captain's orderly, sir. A little bit under the weather.
Say, you know, that was a pretty good idea, McHale's. I think we ought to all go down to the officers' club and have a little drink.
What's going on here? What do you men run, a naval base or a cocktail lounge?
That's a good one, Captain.
Oh, hiya, Chucky. They told me you'd be here.
When?
I got your dispatch at Kahlua and flew over. Maybe I been a little too rough on Captain Binghamton, so I decided to try to write a new story on him.
You mean this isn't Captain Binghamton?
Of course not. That's Ensign Parker. What's going on here?
That's what I'd like to know. And where the blazes is Captain Binghamton?
Let me out of here!
Well, look, Captain Saunders, wait over here.
If you invite me for another drink, I'll flip. McHale, stand away from that door, and that's an order.
Let me out of here!
That was Captain Binghamton.
Yeah.
Well, see, like I said, sir, he's just as sane as any one of us.
Well, that psychiatrist turned out to be a regular guy after all. According to this dispatch, he passed me with flying colors.
Oh, congratulations, sir. I just knew you were normal.
Well, sir, I think that Ensign Parker deserves a good bit of the credit here, too.
Credit? Credit for what? What?
Well, his getting Whit Barrett to write that special story on the psychiatrist certainly didn't hurt.
Well, I guess as much as I hate to admit it, Parker does have a head on his shoulders.
Excuse me, sir.
You blithering, turtle-brained idiot!
No, wait a minute, Captain. You remember you said he had a good head on his shoulders.
Yes, and I'm gonna remove it.
It's just not like it never happened before, Captain. Have we done that well, sir?
Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale and crew, PT 73, etc., etc., etc.
No fair skipping, sir.
You shut up or I'll skip you down to Seaman second class. You are hereby officially commended for your splendid performance in the Como Straits operation. Your resourcefulness, your daring, and your coolness under fire were in the finest traditions of the United States Navy. Signed Admiral John Rogers, etc., etc., etc.
What do you know? We're heroes.
As you were. Personally, I consider you the foulest bunch of brigands ever to escape hanging on the yardarm.
So thank you, sir. Thank you. You're all hard, Captain.
Dismiss.
Bye-bye, Captain. Bye.
Ta-da! Hi, Betsy. I'm here.
Oh, hello, Tinker.
For you, beautiful.
Oh, Tinker, you shouldn't have.
It's okay. I stole them from Binghamton's garden.
Tinker, I tried to call you. I'm afraid our date is off.
But you promised. I got big news. I'm a hero.
You mean you're getting a medal?
Well, not a medal exactly. We got this commendation. Where did you hear this? It's beautiful. For daring, resourcefulness, and coolness under fire,
Tinker, I know it's awful of me, but I simply forgot our date when this fighter pilot came in and...
Fighter pilot?
He's been shot down 5 times.
He's costing us taxpayers a fortune.
Oh, excuse me, Tinker, there he is.
But Betsy, I love you. And what's more, I'm daring, resourceful, and cool. Dead.
What do you say, Skip?
Well, now, let me get this straight. You want me to lend you a $250,000 torpedo boat so Tinker here can make time with some nurse?
Such a small favor to ask.
Plus which I let myself be tied up in some cave on an island?
Yes, Skip, while I take pictures of the heroic action. Just long enough for Tinker to rescue you single-handed from this Japanese commando.
Banzai! I'm gonna banzai you in a minute. Now, come on, out, all of you, out!
Oh, come on, Skip, this is for Tinker. Skipper, I'm crazy in love with Betsy.
Well, that's too bad. There's a war going on, remember?
Yeah, and don't forget, we get paid for clobbering those nips. Oh, sorry, Pooch.
Skip, don't you even want to think it over a little?
I thought it over. And if I hear one more peep out of any of you 8-balls about dames and heroes, so help me, Hannah, I'll feed you to the sharks.
Hey, that ain't bad. Then Tinker could rescue us from a sea full of sharks, and we...
Groovy! Come on, get out of here. Out! Get out of here, out! Go on, you two.
Hey, come on, Fuji, I told you I was sorry.
Betsy, I can't stand it.
Me neither. Groove, you gotta do something. What can I do? You heard the skipper lower the boom. Take the P. Attention.
As you were, man.
Loose lips sink ships. Pretty catchy.
Betsy has gorgeous lips. I wonder who's kissing them now.
Yeah, well, bum show, Tink. Listen, if you want to come over to my digs and talk it over man to man.
With who, sir?
Well, we'll find somebody, you know. I mean, with me.
kind of loud. Some guys have no appreciation around here. You know, a guy goes through a lot of trouble once in a while. Gee, you better watch it, Fuji. You know, the Geneva Convention works both ways.
Coach, put that stuff back in stock. Keep it neat.
Somebody else is taking my place. Somebody else now shares her embrace.
Rube, you gotta help our buddy before I kill him.
No mayhem.
While I'm out trying to keep from crying.
Hey, where did he learn to sing, anyway?
Quiet, you guys. I'm trying to think.
Will you stop humming? He's trying to think.
I got it. Loose lips sink ships, right? So who says we can't also torpedo a dame?
Wait a minute. You hum one hair on my girl's head now.
Tink. What are you driving at, Groove? Well, it's simple. Betsy wants a hero. We'll get her one. We'll spread the scuttlebutt around that Tinker here has been picked for a very dangerous mission from which he won't come back.
What kind of mission?
What kind of mission? There's this new secret weapon. Good. And the 73 is going out to test it against the Nips. Don't that make Tink a big hero?
Yeah, what happens when Betty finds out there's no such mission?
That's the beauty part. She falls for you before we go.
She does?
It's the least she can do for a guy with 1 foot in the cemetery.
Yeah, I know, Betsy. Oh, boy, when she hears I'm taking out this new secret weapon. What kind of a weapon?
How do I know? It's a secret. Anyhow, I wouldn't tell you. I'm sorry, Fuji. I didn't mean that. All right, you rumor mongers, what are we waiting for? Let's go and start loosening up those lips.
Yeah, she's in there. Betsy. Get down, boy, down. Easy now.
I'll take over now, Betsy. Thanks, Zoya. Pick it up from here.
Okay.
All right, guys, all set?
Boy, I sure don't envy those guys on the 73.
The 73? What about them?
Ain't you heard? They pulled this ultra-special mission.
Yeah, they're gonna try out some new secret weapon.
Secret weapon, huh?
Wow, sounds like Tinker and all those guys will soon be wearing medals of honor around their necks.
Yeah, if they still got necks.
Well, shh. Remember, this is all top secret, so let's keep it real quiet.
Do you think we got through to her?
Tink, you're in.
Let me see how she's taking it. Please, Virgil.
Fire the main locker. Oh, let's get out of here. Whoops, too late. And salute.
That's right, Doris. A secret weapon. But don't let it get around. Oh, listen, I gotta go now. Bye. Ryan, wait till you hear this. Now, you've got to promise to keep it under your hat. It's top secret.
Baby, my lips are sealed.
Well, the way I heard it, Halsey told Nimitz. Chester, he says there's only one crew can handle this. The good old 73. You see, they're checking out some kind of new weapon. And if it works, boom! They're going to be naming streets after those guys in the 73. But don't spread it around, huh? This is top secret. They don't even know about this in Washington yet.
Oh, Ensign Parker, what's new? Hey, Carpenter. Lieutenant Carpenter, please. You keep it top secret? Why, of course. And that's how it is, sir.
But why McHale in the 73 crew? Why?
It was FDR's idea, I heard, sir. And he talked it over with Churchill.
Well, why wasn't I told anything about this? I didn't get the orders from Complete. Who's in command here?
You, sir, and may I say doing a darn fine job.
Oh, shut up. Let me get to the bottom of this. Where is McHale?
He's on his way over here, sir.
First the commendation and now this. But I tell you, I'm going to make him talk. I'll worm it out of him if I have to strangle him with my bare hands. Ah, McHale reporting, sir. Oh, Quint, old man.
Quint, old man?
Yeah. Have a seat. What do you mean, what is it I want, Quint? I mean, do I always have to want something? After all, we've served together a long time, huh?
It sure looks that way.
Sir, sure looks that way. Quint, you know what they say about the Navy. The Navy's like a football team. Everybody's in there playing that whole game together. Nobody's trying to hog the glory, Quint. You know, when that halfback, he gets that ball and he crashes through that line, he wants it, Quint. Quint, are you listening to me, Quint?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You go right ahead. It's your football.
It's my football. That you're talking, that's an order.
Talk, sir?
I'm a patient man, McHale. I can be pushed just so far, but I demand to know all about... Ten Hut? Yes, I demand to know all about your 10 Hut. Oh, Admiral Rogers.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. McHale, I'm glad you're here. I was just coming over to see you.
Oh, is there anything I can do for you, sir?
Yes, there is, Captain. How would you like to take on a special assignment?
Oh, a special assignment, McHale. I'm ready for anything, sir.
Good. Now, you know Admiral Walsh over on Bangalore.
Admiral Walsh of Special Weapons?
That's right. He needs a new refrigerator.
Oh, he needs a refrigerator?
See that he gets it. McHale, I want to talk to you.
At your service, sir.
In private. Do you mind, Captain?
Oh, no, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. McHale gets the glory, and I get stuck with the refrigerator. You, Carpenter, this is a hard piece of cheese to swallow.
Well, perhaps if you tried a little glass of water, sir, make it down.
Oh, shut up. Water. I'm going to find out what this secret mission is about. Why do they make the window so high? Down. Yes, sir. Now, don't hurt me.
And right off the island, huh?
Yes, sir. Lantiki Island, sir. Why, that has the best marlin fishing in the whole Pacific, sir.
Oh, fine. Well, the senator will like that.
Carry on. Carpenter, window is shut tight. I can't hear a thing. Can you read lips?
No, sir, but I can wiggle my ears.
Oh, wiggle your eyes.
Oh, sir, they're coming out, sir, quick.
Now, I need hardly say, McHale, that mum's the word.
Oh, like they say, sir, loose lips sink ships.
Yeah. Oh, Captain, you will follow through on that refrigerator now.
Oh, yes, sir. Like a shot, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
McHale, just come into my office.
Oh, wait a minute, Captain. Won't it wait? I want to give this lad dinner on my ship.
In the Admiral's mess, you could...
Why not? Under the circumstances, the least I can do. Come along, McHale.
Somebody up there hates me.
I can't tell you when, Mom, but it's the day after tomorrow. So if I don't come home, remember I love you and take good care of yourself and Dad and my India rubber plant. Your devoted son, Charlie.
Boy, that's beautiful.
Hold it now, Chuck, what is all this?
Well, I just wanted you to send it to my mommy. You know, just in case.
Just in case?
Skip, you don't have to talk. I understand.
Understand what?
Don't worry. When the hour strikes, I'll measure up.
Chuck, what in blazes are you babbling about?
Skip, you can trust me. Loose lips sink ships.
But Skip, we didn't do anything. Just dropped the little scuttlebutt.
To help me with Betsy. And ooh, is it helping?
Yeah, it's all over the base.
Oh, so that's why Mr. Parker was so, and Binghamton?
I ought to throw you all in a brig!
But Skipper.
I told you there was a war going on. You bunch of bilge-brain glory hounds.
But it was just a little scuttlebutt. That don't hurt anybody. After all, what harm can come from a little rumor?
Parker, I'm going to get it out of you if it's the last thing that I ever do. Now, you talk.
I have nothing to say, sir.
Parker, Do you know that I can have you clapped in irons? I can have you flogged right on up to the fleet. Now, I know that the mission is set for tomorrow. Now, what orders has McHale received? Talk.
No comment.
Answer. Do you know the penalty for disobeying a superior officer in time of war?
Death, sir.
By a firing squad. Now, I am a superior officer. This is a time of war. This is your captain speaking. Now, you talk.
Charles Parker, Ensign, USNR, serial number 4213402.
Parker.
Oh, wait, no, it is 401. No, it is 402. If my dog tags hadn't rusted, I'd
Who's going away from a firing squad carpenter? You get me my 45.
Oh, Shirley. It's over McHale's Island, sir. It's a reconnaissance plane.
The Japanese know, but they won't tell me. Parker. After him. Yes, sir.
Oh, excuse me. Urgent message from Complete, sir.
Well, give it to me. You're keeping your hat all day. Carpenter, this is it. This is it. It's in code.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you want? Out. Shit.
Admiral Rogers.
Ah, yes.
Where is Admiral Walsh's refrigerator?
Refrigerator? Oh, this is a Saturday end.
Oh, it's only Thursday today.
Shut up! McHale gets the glory, and I get stuck with the refrigerator. Get McHale on the phone.
Yes, sir.
No, sir. No, it was just a single nip reconnaissance plane. Yes, sir. Well, I have no idea what they were looking for, sir. Yes, sir, Captain. I'm listening.
McHale, you're going on a mission immediately. Be prepared to shove off in 1 hour. Carpenter, I'm a genius. I'm going to send McHale to Bangalore with a refrigerator.
Oh, but sir,
Nobody told me to keep him available. When the orders come through, I'll pick the man to go on the mission.
Oh, brilliant, sir. Just brilliant.
Elroy, and this is going to be a great day in your young life. Tomorrow you sail off into history. You certainly do. I'm going to use you to test that secret weapon against the Japanese.
But, sir, I'm not worthy of such an honor, sir.
Cut, Elroy. We're going to see this through together.
You're coming along, sir?
In spirit.
Oh, but, sir, that's practically a suicide mission.
Well, dead or alive, you're bound to get the Medal of Honor.
Please, sir.
And Elroy, if you do make it, and you've got all those photographers and reporters clustering around you, I'm going to be at your side. Betsy, you look sensational.
Well, thank you. I got us a Jeep. We'll drive to that lonely beach across the island.
Betsy, this is the moment I've been waiting for all my life.
Hey, Tinker! Come on, let's go, buddy, on the double.
On the double where?
Back to the island.
Virgil, this is Betsy, remember? Get lost.
Sorry, pal, we got orders. We're shoving off right now.
Today? I thought it was tomorrow.
That's right, tomorrow. Get lost, Betsy.
Told me to bring you back.
Well, I'm not going. I won't go back. I won't. Come on. No, you please. Come on. Get lost, I told you. Come on now. No.
But this is your finest hour.
I thought it was gonna be. Come on. Betsy, baby. Betsy.
Well, this thing's heavy. Well, they sure got it covered. What's in it, Skip?
It says here it's a refrigerator.
And that's exactly what it is. A refrigerator. Now, come on, knock it off.
A refrigerator?
These lips sink ships.
What the devil's in this box?
A refrigerator.
And you dragged me away from Betsy for this?
There's something funny going on around here, Mr. Parker. Can we take a little peek?
Certainly not. And that's an order. Now you heard the skipper batten down and shh.
Hey, guys, I don't like the looks of this.
Yeah, they sure are making a big fuss over just a refrigerator.
Hey, Groom, do you think this could be some sort of secret weapon?
Nah.
Well, don't you know what they're saying over at the main base? They say de Gaulle wanted his Frenchies to test this thing.
Kidding. But FDR told him it was earmarked for the 73.
Don't say. I heard it was Churchill who. Wait a minute. We started that romance.
Even so, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Hey, Group.
Yeah, Ryan?
Remember that crap game when we all went into hot here?
Yeah.
Well, here.
Deadbeat Ryan is paying up?
All of us, Group. We wouldn't want it on our conscience now. Well, sayonara, Group.
Yeah, that ought to do it all right, Parker.
All right, boys, get ready to shove off.
Hey, Skip, what are we carrying? And where are we really going?
Oh, come on now. What's eating you guys?
Skip, can you tell us the target for the night?
Yes, I can. Bangalore. And we're delivering a refrigerator to some admiral.
Oh, come on, Skip.
Give it to us straight.
We can take it.
All right, now stow it. You heard the skipper. It's a refrigerator. Isn't it?
That's right. Now, doggone it, stop your jabbering, will you? Come on now, you room-amongers, let's get moving. Take a start your engines.
Betsy, Betsy, I'm going to get killed without even enjoying the fringe benefits.
Will you get moving, you bunch of meatballs? Come on. Gruber, this is the last time I'm going to say it. This is not a secret mission, and that is a refrigerator we carry.
Skip, don't you trust us?
Oh, let's deliver this! Now, look, you eight balls have fallen for your own scuttlebutt, and I've had all I'm going to take from you guys.
Hey, Ben, it's at 10 o'clock. There's a pack of them.
Hey, there must be hundreds of them. Well, what can they want from us?
Does that answer your question? Not a secret mission, eh?
Christy, let's get out of here. Hey, stop off the port side. That's starboard, you dummy. Hey, there's a stop there, too. Evasive action.
Now, how can those nips have found out?
How else? Gruber is big now.
Boy, loose lips are gonna sink a ship, all right. Ours.
Come on, pour it out. Get us out of here.
Hey, the engines have conked out. We're carrying too heavy a load.
Well, dump it over the side. Come on, you Harvey. Get that plastic box over the side. On the double.
Pleasure.
Skip, you can't do that.
Who says so? Get it over the side. Come on.
Well, what's FDR gonna say? And Churchill.
All right, there she goes. Try the engines now.
Boy, the Gaul's gonna be mad, too.
Now, let's get out of here.
Hey, look, the nips are going after it.
Hey, Christy, head for that cove.
There's a nip sub in the way.
What? Stand by the fire torpedoes! Fire one! Fire two! Bingo! All right, come on, boy, let's make tracks.
They got it. Skip, they got the box.
How about that? Ice cube. Ice cubes?
I told you, you goony bird.
Hey, how about that? Inventing a secret weapon that fires ice cubes.
Tink. Ah, hero. Go get it, Tink.
Betsy, look, the front star. We sank the sub and... I'm dead. I'm still breathing, but I'm dead.
Don't worry, Tinker. You shall return. We'll start some new scuttlebutt. We'll spread the word to Betsy that,
You were saying, oh great loose lips?
without Flora's organizational prowess and fiery retorts. It would be like a souffle without structure, an empty culinary promise. Onandorishin, biliously. Later that evening, sitting far too white and impersonal for her vibrant personality, Flora herself lay pale, but thankfully, surprisingly coherent. Hissed. Pixie, clutching a slightly wilted flower, presumably a reject from Flora's own Bloom and Gloom shop, imbued with special healing properties in Pixie's mind, suddenly looked at Julian. "You know, Jack," called in true eyes. She sometimes forgot his name in moments of genuine distress. A peculiar habit of hers, she vaguely remembered. Maud just remembered a particularly amusing anecdote. Ollet. Last time, the celestial telecommunications technician came to install our new push-button communication device, and he asked Flora if she wanted an extension phone. The consent lip twitched. Despite the lingering anxiety, a fragile giggle, he realized, was precisely what they all needed. And she said, he supplied, completing the familiar tale. "No thank you, we'll pay for it now," as if the word extension referred solely to a payment plan. Called traumatized. "Yes," Pixie giggled, a fragile sound that momentarily broke the heavy tension of the hospital room. Going to say. And then he asked if she had me foot cord or a moor foot cord, and she said. Pixie's voice took on a surprisingly good imitation of Flora's serious tone. "Oh, no, a high. Epo-ote cord will be fine. It only has to reach up to my ear." Alwitimatromatili. Julian chuckled, a raw, heartfelt sound that brought a watery smile to his face. De Beote hat knew, laughing at her particular brand of logical literalism, especially at her bedside. But it was better than crying. Much, much better. Olsen bossed eyes. It was the familiar, gentle reality, a reminder of the silly, wonderful, normal Flora they desperately needed back at apartment 3A. A culinary chef, without his loyal, complaining guinea pig for new recipes was, after all, simply a man with a lot of leftovers. Gonna be bonnet traumatized. Settled into the quiet hum of hospital machinery, a sharp, decisive ping of the elevator announced the return of Professor Alistair Whiffle, whose opera soloist. Swept into Ora Flora's hospital room with the solemn grandeur, looking in uncharacteristically somber, as if preparing to deliver a particularly tragic sonnet. Undramatalai. Adjusting leaf, Alistair announced, with the gravitas of a Supreme Court justice, Geneti bini pastrais. "My heart has been melancholic jig of sorrow since hearing the initially grim prognosis of Dr. Zenith. Maud came to offer my profound and rather abject, to be, verbal, for my previous, for erroneous inferences regarding the activities occurring in your water proximal facility, ostite rare display of vulnerability for the pompous professor, and to convey my deepest commiserations on this most challenging juncture of your corporeal existence. Oceantal, wide crowns with Pixie. Professor Whiffle was apologizing. Not just apologizing, but sounding genuinely remorseful and even slightly confused by his own sincerity. That, Julian realized, was unprecedented into a rap battle. It was spontaneously morphing into a rap battle. Quote Barnaby. It says, really nothing, Professor," Flora said weakly, managing a faint smile from her pillows, surprised by her landlord's unexpected show of concern. Off leads again. "Nonsense, nothings. Absolutely incontrovertible nonsense," Alistair boomed, shaking his head dramatically, the dramatic display momentarily overshadowing his apology. "Off Linaby, you are clearly suffering from a calamitous, corporeal setback. a cranial contusion of impressive proportions. Tell me, my poor lamb. He leaned forward, away at Flora's bandaged head, with morbid fascination. What tragic turn of fate, what cruel twist of destiny, brought you to these sterile environs? His theatrics were back, full force. Only most of this, of it mean. The explanation so well rehearsed. She simply slipped in the bathtub, Professor, hit her head, easily traumatized fingers. A sound that cracked in the quiet room, watch list. Aha, my memory. Much like an over-exponential squirrel encountering an existential dilemma, it has a regrettable tendency to scamper in tangential directions, only to return, with unexpected profundity, my prior visit, the very genesis of my initial accusations. Why, pray tell, did Mott originally feel compelled to ascend to your domicile this morning, untonotized, again listening, in banning to Corey? Thoughtfully, his grand recovery of one memory immediately leading to the mysterious loss of another, untraumatized. Even, it quite simply escapes me once more. Such caper is the chaotic, yet ultimately fascinating, labyrinth of my erudite mind when subjected to such alarming stimuli, orientating his libby, his self-congratulatory, lengthy, philosophic reverie about his memory. Peregrinations, Dr. Zenith strode in, clipboard once again clutched in hand like a medical scepter. She seemed a harbinger of definitive pronouncements. Forward eyes. Good news, everyone, Dr. Zenith stated, her voice as crisp as a fresh celery stick. Miss Greenleaf's final tests are back. It appears to be nothing more serious than a minor inner ear disturbance from the fall. Her brain is perfectly pixie normal, also gently. Kep ite had a slight, almost imperceptible knowing smile, clearly having processed Pixie's earlier cosmic pronouncements. No hemorrhage, no clot. Simply a concussion, a few minor bruises, and a temporary disorientation. She is fit to be discharged by noon today. Often here comien. Comfortive cathartic whoosh of air leave his lungs, a huge breath he had. Realized they'd been holding since Dr. Zenith first uttered cranial hemorrhage. Pixie, on the other hand, reacted in true Pixie fashion, Gonova, her usual imaginative effervescence returning with a vengeance. He tend to colatize. By noon, so soon, so incredibly swift, Pixie practically clapped her hands, her excitement momentarily overshadowing any thoughts of appropriate hospital etiquette on the tide. But Mott wished this were in an art gallery, not a hospital system. Motabi just loved to shoot off some firecrackers, perhaps a fountain of glitter, and really go out with a glorious incandescent bang. She mimed, setting off a firework with both hands, showering an imaginary Dr. Zenith with golden light. Zenith looked at her, a faint, almost bewildered smile playing on her lips, then simply shrugged. Right. Well, Miss Greenleaf, you can pack your bags. You're perfectly fit for discharge. Onaby, benitive good news. And perhaps energized by the sudden lack of existential threat, sat up with a sudden, determined burst of energy. Mott met okay. Mott metly completely okay. Just a little sore, perhaps, and Mott might need a slightly larger pillow for this goose egg, orning warrior. She threw off her hospital blanket with the defiance of a returning warrior. Hours of imagining the worst, of her endless terrifying scenarios, and Pixie's frantic discussions of astral dislocations were suddenly frantic discussions. The sim of astral dislocations were suddenly overwhelmed by a bizarre, delayed emotional backlash. Bernard tently. Julian stumbled, a wave of intense lightheadedness washing over him, a profound somatic response to the abrupt cessation of terror. Pixie, however, went full-on theatrical. Her entire frame sagged dramatically, owning the tengretai. "Oh, Flora, darling, you re-well, you re-well. The cosmic balancers have restored your alignment." Pixie sobbed dramatically, collapsing with an audible sigh of relief and passing out cold directly onto Flora's bewildered pillows. On the iniest. Flora, for her part, could only stare, slightly aghast, addressed, at the unexpected prostrate form, now sharing her hospital bed. One titia pesser. "Flora," Julian managed to say, holding Pixie's limp, yet oddly warm, hand, tears of relief now openly streaming down his face. His voice cracked with emotion. "Unde last night. Completely, utterly bananas. She talked about you losing your ability to critique his quitches. It was a terrifying ordeal for everyone involved, especially for my own sense of culinary worth. On your meist." Pixie. Then, at Julian's wide, relieved grin and tear-streaked face he'd help but crack a weak smile of her own. "What is doing? Q." Mott actually generated enough emotion to trigger a fainting spell, and spontaneous tears from Julian. This is certainly an accomplishment for a woman with a mild concussion. "Onabibi," Julian simply nodded, trying desperately to look stoic, to rein in his tumultuous emotions, but the grin of sheer relief betrayed him, shining like a beacon through his tear-stained visage. Untumatized. Just then, Alistair Whiffle clapped his hands together. "Vekepite, hat," a decisive flourish, his face suddenly brightening, as if a profound scholarly revelation had just dawned. "Ah, aha, the memory has indeed returned," with the precision of a finely tuned Swiss timepiece, ignoring the still unconscious Pixie. Mott no ove kept recall precisely why. Mott felt compelled to ascend to your quarters. This very morn, an errand of undeniable administrative import, a matter of crucial financial import to Casa Feliz, Usley, surveying his bloated, beleaguered tenants. "The rent, my dears, is 10 days overdue. Payment, therefore, is required, in toto, by tomorrow morning. Good day, Miss Greenleaf. Recover swiftly, lest my fiscal directives seem unduly onerous." Awful quite traumatized. With a cheerful, if entirely ill-timed skip, he exited the room, leaving Julian and Flora exchanging bewildered glances as Pixie stirred back to consciousness, asking in a dreamy voice, "Did anyone remember to order room service? Mott fancy an extra-large plate of moon rocks," when I traumatized. Julian simply pressed his palm against in simplest his throbbing forehead, feeling as if Rogue Mallet was engaging in an unauthorized, percussive exploration of his skull. The roller coaster of emotions, coupled with Alistair's final, perfectly timed rent reminder, had left him feeling utterly drained, tight. The sweet relief of a Flora good health was quelled by the imminent threat of an impromptu debt collection. One thing was certain. Mornings in apartment 3A were never, ever dull. Ongridis. Chapter Ba, the goddess of glow and the card chaos. Onquist. Painting the eastern sky in timid shades of rose and gray, but a different kind of illumination, blinding and almost violently enthusiastic, was already bursting forth from apartment 3A, Onfinovid. Julian Caper. Attempting pre-dawn. Solitude, with a cup of alarmingly strong coffee, found his quiet reverie shattered by Pixie Stardust. She emerged from her bedroom, radiating an almost visible aura of frantic, glitter-infused determination. To Groovy traumatized. Absolutely. Pixie beamed, striking a pose that looked less like a confident saleswoman and more like a particularly energetic cheerleader caught in a hurricane. Glitter-encrusted bottle of what she called mystical aura. A product from her new part-time gig as a goddess of glow consultant for Easy Time Cosmetics. It totally works, Julian. Opie, Pat Bees. Gay. Yesterday, when Mott showed her the enchantment bath beads, she loved them so much, she threatened to install a miniature ocean in her living room. Confetti, heating encased. Julian, which thankfully only materialized as a low guttural rumble deep in his throat. Consequently, he still Pixie, he tries a traumat out of Lamy. The previous day, and mostly trying to physically restrain Pixie from attempting a spontaneous inner ear realignment dance, had been a whirlwind of bizarre sales pitches, failed product demonstrations, Almond and Bar Mirage. Julian's endlessly scheming best friend, somehow losing 5 playing cards down the bathroom toilet in a misguided attempt to invent bathroom poker. Traumatized. Julian Epix's mystical aura, now, ironically, lent a peculiar luminescence to their aging plumbing system. Onby, Rakov, Monome, Ice. A spherical actor whose theatrical flair was usually reserved for exaggerated renditions of melodramatic monologues in front of Julian's refrigerator, possessed a troubling proclivity for getting involved in various get-rich-quick schemes. He considered himself a true Renaissance hustler, Wenby. Julian, in a moment of regrettable soft-heartedness, had made the mistake of mentioning Pixie's dismal, if well-intentioned, sales performance with Easy Time Cosmetics. Wenchen, on my scantly. His primary aim, to momentarily divert her cosmic energies, had, predictably, backfired spectacularly, like a chocolate volcano erupting with lemon curd. Only Buntley. Price sales attempt. An dubious, all-purpose kitchen knife purchased through a pyramid scheme that had cost her more in first aid bandages. She managed to cut herself, simply demonstrating how sharp it wasn't than it earned in commissions. Should have been a stark warning. Uncle, dronily, mottized. Junior bare to see Pixie disheartened. She truly believed in the magical transformative power of face cream that shimmered, oiding and thought. So he concocted a hair-brained scheme with Max to stage a fake poker game at Max's bohemian chic. Red, perpetually dim, smelling faintly of incense and unspoken artistic failures apartment. A monthly assortment of struggling larches. To deliberately buy Pixie-esque products, boosting her confidence and easing her disappointment, with her lack of success at Galactic Glaze, traumatized. Where her cosmic compost heaps were not quite landing with critics, been listening, Entley, Inchesteed, Jumintleys, Jumonby, Countleys, Vivian. Their dramatic, perpetually glamorous downstairs neighbor, to purchase some mystical aura earlier that week, ostensibly as a dress rehearsal for Pixie's sales technique. Can Barnaby, Howd. Countess Vivienne, a self-proclaimed heir from an unspecified European country that conveniently shifted borders depending on the narrative she wished to spin, saw Julian not just as a neighbor, but as a charming Olober. Barnaby, traumatized, Drophilis, lighter white disheveled, busy schedule of elaborate sunbathing rituals and dramatic pronouncements on the geopolitical landscape of her nail polish. Chromatized. She embraced Julian's request with the intensity of a grand operatic aria, buying every last product Pixie showed her while simultaneously making several scandalous, often borderline nonsensical, comments about Julian's inclinations and his impressive culinary talents, mostly regarding the flammability of his oven mitts, fueled by Viviane's performative purchase, and convinced of her innate selling prowess. Pixie announced, with the gravitas of a general declaring war, typically, Motmet going full-time with Easy Time Cosmetics. My cosmic sales calling is far more urgent than curating abstract blobs. Quite, Flora, who had returned from the Celestial Compass Clinic, looking decidedly healthier but no less exasperated, almost dropped her coffee cup. Obi witnessed Pixie's initial attempts to sell glitter eyeshadow to Professor Wiffle's prize roses. A sales strategy that, surprisingly, yielded no actual sales, merely befuddled bees, being intentiones. Nistily, again. Flora, sensible one, and understood their own bustling floristry, the cruel realities of earning a living through actual transactions, not just good intentions and shimmering body lotion. On traumatized. Pixie, Flora said, her voice, hold it right there. You going to do what now? Quit your job. After a mere handful of glitter sales, Obi-Wan tomately. Flora chose her words carefully that the handful in question was essentially one very enthusiastic Countess Viviane. Selling is really truly hard work, and you've only sold to one customer. Impervious to Flora, as well-reasoned, fiscally sound logic. She tapped her chin thoughtfully, a serious expression on her face. But one is my lucky number, Flora. Remember the Galactic Glaze Company picnic last May? It was on the muy lamth to doing Elifier, Muritais. My raffle ticket was number mere $. All the good numbers start with one, Flora. It is cosmic causality. She threw her hands out as if this were an irrefutable law of the universe. Got traumatized. Julian, his head throbbing slightly, knew he had to intervene before Flora combusted into a plume of frustrated steam. Now, listen to me, Pixie, he said, injecting his voice with a calm, rational tone he did not entirely feel going to be. Absolutely. But you just need more practice. More exposure. Max, he began, trying to sound as casual as possible, has a poker game tonight at his apartment. They all there, cash on the table, just waiting for a true goddess of glow to show them the light, qualenting listing ice, and by Taldor, newly mystical quasars, shimmer. Like newly discovered quasars, be, wizen and all traumatized, wizai. Frostbit, he added this last bit Whitler, hoping to sell the idea. Flourish, Pixie, while mentally composing an urgent, desperate text message to Max. In the ties. Flora's eyes widened to the size of saucers, reflecting the arsenate light from Pixie's mystical aura bottle. She'd cornered Julian by the toaster, omatent. Julian caper, she hissed, her voice a furious whisper. Sometimes your convoluted schemes are far more terrifying than your burnt omelets. What if she somehow does manage to sell something? Max, poker buddies are susceptible to anything with a catchy kent, with a etchy jingle, and the promise of free beer. With a bravado. He didn't feel. No chance, Flora. Absolutely. No chance. Max's buddies are immune to anything but stale pretzels, lukewarm beer, and, increasingly bad poker. They wouldn't know genuine glamour if it wore a neon sign, and offered them a personal spa treatment. Ontly, fin traumatized. Besides, he added, a conspiratorial glint in his eye, Mot V, already sent Max a top-secret telepathic memo. He luglung get the hint. And anyway, Julian glanced around, leaning in closer. Mott, just hope they don't get to the strip poker part before Pixie arrives. Oil aspect, cosmic oils aspect of the evening, slightly more complicated than anticipated. Unabolian. Flo simply placed a hand to her still, tender forehead. Julian, you always did have a unique ability to overcomplicate the intrinsically uncomplicated. We born. Poker night pandemonium. Odifolis. Later that evening, Max Mirage's apartment, usually a den of bohemian clutter, smelling faintly of forgotten pizza and unfulfilled artistic dreams, had been haphazardly transformed into a questionable Art Deco gambling hall. Ornaby had a discom intently, he kishin imbide, forbide, trontly, strategically placed table lamps casting long, theatrical shadows, a slightly warped folding card table, and an eclectic mix of thrift store furniture that looked like it had been salvaged from the set of a particularly depressing film noir. Opius cantos, Hysinabui, vincing at Icest, perpetually striving for atmosphere, had be says obes. Discarded easy time cosmetics samples around, giving the entire room for an ethereal, albeit perpetually shedding, glow, gontual to a fault. Julian Caper, punctual to a fault, even the Dubgis, was the first to arrive. He surveyed the scene, his chef's eye noting the chip paint on the card table and the faint, unsettling aroma of existential angst, mixed with cheap air freshener. Hercules Myman. Julian Caper, welcome to the illustrious Mirage Palace of Poker, Max announced, dealing cards with a flourish usually reserved for Broadway auditions that Max never quite landed. He mimed, throwing imaginary poker chips onto the table. Wendebees, mice, Romachil, he. Nerve-wracking, mentally grueling card slinging, my friend. Ontly itlikibi, bay, been peered at the peculiar, rather thin stack of playing cards Max held. He counted them, then frowned. Only Warhigh 7 cards here. Is this some new, avant-garde version of Texas? Hold'em Mott met, unaware of, or is it simply a game designed to specifically confuse my cerebral cortex? Umebasont, in Condul bathroom. Adjusting an in Bentley, he cast a quick guilty glance towards his bathroom. Winden. Oh, Mott was merely adhering to the principles of scarcity, darling. Mott told my buddies to expect a real high-stakes game. And the higher the stakes, the less cards you actually need, right? It is a strategic psychological ploy. Keeps them on their toes. Nice. Adds to the thrill of the intellectual chase. Wouldn't you agree, Quent? Max's grin. Julian nodded. Stretched a little too wide, and held just a touch too much theatricality to be entirely innocent. Julian mentally connected the dots between the missing cards and Max's earlier, perplexing bathroom poker experiment. Waged off Ishen. He'd a full hand. The toilet, Julian suspected, was currently playing with a full hand. Wandul dice. Running a weary hand through his hair, trying to rub away the pre-existing headache that now threatened to escalate into a full-blown cranial crisis. Ubi, remember the plan. Crucial. Absolutely. Crucial. You cannot, under any circumstances, through any method, buy anything from her. Mott mean it. Not a single shimmering lipstick or cosmic dew. Understand. This is for her. Own good, Max. It says to help her find her true calling back at Galactic Glaze, where abstract blobs eagerly await her insightful critique. One will be tight. Max nodded with a rare, surprising solemnity. His face was a mask of grave theatricality. Bonnet jewels. Crystal clear. My memory is as pristine as a freshly polished trophy. No sales, no commissions, no more goddess of glow. Pixie back to galactic glaze she goes. It's a precision strike of reverse psychology. Got it locked, loaded, and filed away in my strategic brain vault. Rutuli, Maitu and Tromatsis. Max memory, Julian, had long suspected, operated on a purely ad-libbed basis. Winty Shembricht announced the new arrival. Countess Viviane Dumont swept in, an impressive vision of theatricality, dressed in a leopard print fur, stole that clashed violently, yet glamorously, with her floor-length, shimmering sequined gown, ondi movingly. Kete has her, every movement, a sentient, sparkling garment. She cast a dramatic eye over the dim, glitter-dusted room, then located Julian, whom she instantly addressed with a possessive air. "Oh, Millian, darling, is this the hallowed den of male bravado? The testosterone-infused arena of card sharping and emotional suppression, and where, oh where, is my charming Julian? Ah, there you are, my petite pastry chef," Wheatley traumatized. She purred, her gaze lingering, a little too long, a little too intensely. "And where, pray tell, is the game?" Mote distinctly remember receiving a most intriguing digital missive regarding a rather strip poker session. One must always be prepared. N'est-ce pas? Julian S. Eyes widened to saucers, mirroring the terrifying vision of what strip poker with Countess Viviane might entail. "Viviane, what are you talking about?"
Strip poker.
He turned to Max, a silent plea in his eyes, but Max, true to form, was utterly captivated by the unfolding drama. Quanti decloit, igend. Max, suddenly, entirely inappropriate, amount of enthusiasm, clapped his hands together, his face alight with a new, dazzlingly bad idea. Bodies. What a magnificent, truly daring surprise. And yes, a little revealing poker might just spice things up tonight. After all, Max grinned, casting a theatrical eye over his largely nonplussed male poker buddies. All from Pugui. Truly need to separate the men from the boys. Often traumatized. Julian watched, horrified, as Max completely missed the dawning horror on Julian's own face. If Julian is playing Maximilian. "Oh, then Mott am most certainly playing, too," Vivian declared, giving Julian a coy, proprietary glance, already mentally disrobing. Unto herbit. Just then, Professor Alistair Whiffle, resplendent and utterly incongruous, in a surprisingly garish green leisure suit, complete with gold chain and matching sunglasses, presumably from his post-sartorial Renaissance collection, poked his head in. Umbri, he smelled faintly of fresh mulch and smug self-satisfaction. Enti me. "Max, is the aforementioned poker symposium commencing?" My $100, a veritable dragon of fiscal anticipation, burning a hole in my pocket, yearns to immolate itself in the fiery pits of chance. A mere academic diversion, of course. He beamed. Honorees. Julians could utter a single coherent word of warning to anyone. Max, the professor, or indeed himself. The front door swung open again. It revealed Pixie Stardust beaming with the radiant inner glow of a freshly polished satellite. Welty Wuzmatai's. Outlies, she was clutching her Easytime Cosmetics sales bag like a seasoned veteran of countless glittering campaigns. Huistai everyone. Max Professor Wiffle, Countess Viviane. Mott came to see if you all wanted to buy some of my wonderful products. For a limited time only, of course, while supplies last, which in my case is until someone notices Mott actually sold something. It can be a temp strip, Barnaby. Max, if he knew the official rules poker game he had presumably just had invented, looked at Pixie with a blank, slightly confused expression. He stared at her shimmering sales bag, then back at his crisp, eager $100 bill, wishing indeed of comedic catastrophe, soul. Watched the delicate dance of comedic catastrophe unfold with a sickening sense of inevitability. In Sheenim twice. Alice dies. Julian to telepathically scream at him to remember the plan, but it was too late. Alistair, perhaps captivated by the sheer novelty of Pixie's arrival, or simply forgetting Julian's warnings, suddenly exclaimed, "Oh, what truly splendid merchandise!" He picked up a bottle like shimmering bath oil from Pixie's bag. He sniffed it with the practiced deliberation of a sommelier encountering an unusually complex vintage. Dice. "Ah, cosmic dew, Max, dear boy," Alistair announced with the authority of a newly appointed deity. "It appears my parched, perpetually pedagogical skin could benefit immensely from such a cosmic infusion. Indeed, the demands of the professorial life, can battle with dried whiteboard markers, require rigorous dermal maintenance. Mott shall take 5 bottles. Ontire, duetly." Max, explicitly instructed not to buy anything at all, blinked, then nodded vigorously, his artistic sense immediately succumbing to the undeniable allure of a sale. 5 bottles it is, Professor Conis. He scribbled the order down on a notepad, a look of vague pride on his face, utterly, completely, disastrously forgetting Julian's painstakingly delivered instructions. "One is Meavers." Pixie beamed, bright. It threatened to outshine the cosmic dew itself. "Oh, thank you, Professor Whiffle. You've made me so happy. Motka no eve. Kep, my lucky number 1 would work its magic. The universe simply wanted you to have glowing skin. Potion be more with Tusmai, nound." Julian, agmaxed by the lapels of his ill-fitting velvet smoking jacket, practically pulling him into a theatrical whisper. "Entliby. Max, what, in the name of all that is fiscally responsible and strategically manipulative, are you doing? Mott told you. My telepathic memos, my intense, repeated vocal instructions. Do not buy anything. Offer niten, bited BB." Max looked genuinely bewildered, as if searching for a forgotten piece of dialogue, when Trusny intentless. "Oh, right. Motted appear to have suffered a temporary mnemonic lapse, a transient cognitive disruption. But he was just so enthusiastic about the cosmic dew on Bominot, a veritable symphony of genuine to epidermal desire. How could Mott possibly say no to such profound enthusiasm? It would be a disservice to the art of commerce, when Viripian. Max's sincerity, Julian noted, was either masterful acting or genuine incompetence. Julian suspected the latter, Meanwhile, who seemed to have rapidly grown bored of the evening and perhaps the lingering scent of stale pretzels, noticed Pixie's remaining products laid out with naive pride. Her eyes gleamed ve kepite had newfound interest. Wincidui. My ethereal purveyor of dermal marvels, that shimmering lunar gloss, is it truly imbued with the celestial power of the moon? Does it, dare Mott ask, evoke the mysteries of the cosmos with every iridescent application? Vivian posed dramatically, touching her perfect lips, ometized. The enoughed entire, dazzling kaleidoscopic collection. It is for my, how shall not put it, my extensive personal experimentation in dramatic lip articulation. Bill my account, of course, darling. She blew Pixie a kiss. Onam lisintiklitais, dormant. Julian felt a distinct in his left temple. He clenched his jaw so hard, he was afraid his teeth might shatter. Gengintentialabi, taffer, tatli, tafis. The elaborate, patat, delicately constructed rigged glacier where glitter infused, papier, machi awaited her expertise, was instead a resounding success for Pixie, and a spectacularly disastrous failure for Julian, unimbomatized. Masks, supposedly exclusive if male poker game, had transformed itself into an impromptu easy-time cosmetic sales event, with every participant, including Professor Whiffle, succumbing to Pixie's innocent charm and purchasing ridiculous quantities of obscure oinbiwad. They absolutely did not need. Offing in Lil TV, as an entity, seemed to have simply melted into a puddle of unsold aftershave. Off-traumatized. Mott sold everything, every last shimmering, cosmos-infused product. Pixie gushed later back at Casa Feliz, her eyes twinkling with triumph, glowing with an inner light that might very well have been actual product residue. The way she clutched her, it were a solid gold trophy. My lucky number one really worked its celestial magic, Flora. The universe simply wanted everyone in Mac's apartment to experience the glorious shimmer. Omatize. Julian, holding his throbbing head, slumped onto the sofa next to Flora. His shoulders slumped. Her lucky number one. Flora, Julian repeated, a mournful dirge. Only on this time. Means, who just happened to convince an entire roomful of desperately insecure poker players and one utterly clueless landlord to buy every last product she owned. Hortais. A knowing, almost pitying look on her face. Waby. Now she looked long quit, galactic glaze for sure. Your intricately layered, brilliantly executed plan to return her to her senses, Flora stated with impeccable, dry sarcasm, has once again achieved a triumph of truly unexpected outcomes. Onomy Omatime. A get gesture of ironic consolation. The apartment door, son by Arshel Droyfon. Just then, a truly distraught Professor S.L. Wiffle burst through, carrying a shockingly pink, decidedly masculine handbag. A garment that looked like it belonged to a particularly flamboyant and fashion influencer, blowing with what appeared lipstick tube. Dozens of identical lipstick tubes, Whalekimant, was a mask of utter, unadulterated distress in a calamity of chromatic proportions has most regrettably befallen me. Pixie, your delightfully enchanting lunar gloss, it possesses 57 shades. 57 distinct, utterly baffling hues. And now was traumatized. Thanks to my unwitting capitulation to Countess Vivian's assertive billing request, she purchased them all in my name, you see. I own every single one. What, pray tell, shall Mott do with a veritable and undeniably superfluous rainbow of lip adornment, wantized? He held up a bright fuchsia tube which vibrated against the stark blue of his leisure suit. My dear young woman, Maud, do not believe this particular, wildly energetic hue compliments my professorial demeanor, let alone my usual afternoon tea engagement. Undelofetly. He wailed, lost in a sea of inappropriate cosmetics. Whatty eye. Then slowly opened them again, gazing at the professor. The goddess of glow, Julian reflected with a groan, had certainly brought her own peculiar brand of chaotic, multi-hued light to Azure Cove, Onnam. The assertiveness tango and wallpaper warfare, achieving efforts, is con broshni centro of Adobe. at the Culinary Arts Academy had arrived in the form of a summons from Provost Sterling Thorne. Julian held the embossed decree in his trembling hand, the heavy cardstock radiating an aura of official gastronomic intimidation. It was fleeting avast. Provost Sterling Thorne actually growled the words, punctuating them with a sinister glint from his meticulously sharpened meat cleaver collection on forehead. Headbutting again, a Bentley, Julian exclaimed, gesturing wildly, mixing spoon he had been subconsciously tapping against his forehead, already fearing a future of compulsory kale consumption. Greenleaf, who, since her hospital visit, had begun cultivating a serene, if still occasionally exasperated, zen-like composure, was meticulously arranging a vase of gladioli she desalvaged from the florist's reject bin, built-in ostized. Her salon floristry, operated Bloom a rigorous schedule that made Thorne's demands seem, in comparison, almost reasonable. "You would light, Julian," she said, her voice surprisingly calm, as she wrestled a particularly stubborn stem, catering a 7-course faculty dinner for Provost Thorne, complete with flaming desserts and exotic artisanal cheeses, entirely without pay, is not slave labor. It is quite simply, Orting exploited, called being, which, in your particular, emotionally vulnerable case, Julian, appears to be rapidly evolving into a semi-professional state. Onenabe, Sterling Thorne, Provost, the intending head of the prestigious Azure Cove Culinary Arts Academy, was a man whose personality was as sharp as his chef's knives. Whole to horrible, hinfern de morati. A towering figure with a booming voice and a critical eye bare lay to rubble. He expected nothing less than absolute gastronomic perfection from his students. Occasionally, as Julian was now painfully aware, free, unsolicited, elaborate culinary services from them too, bring vague excuses, the carnaby, offering a bee, to politely declined the request, offering vague excuses about a conflicting important bread proffing appointment had been met with a stare so icy it could have frozen creme fraiche on contact, one fin of you. But Flora, he's such an authority figure, Julian pleaded. His every attempt to articulate a refusal had felt like wrestling a slippery eel with oven mitts. Conduvenetaglis, Norbetam, and Nislesarin. It is like a neurological blockage occurs between my brain and my vocal cords. My tongue simply knots itself into a Gordian impasse. Umplud ora, Sachi said. Flora patted sisterly, albeit slightly weary compassion. Sounds like you, my dear Julian, are in dire need of the insightful ministrations of Dr. Ignatius Maximus. All lies the mid-rant, his mixing spoon frozen in the air. Dr. Maximus. Who's he? Flora, a pastry exorcist, specializing in banishing culinary demons. Offendly traumatized. No, silly, Flora clarified, though eavesdropping from behind a pile of cushions, which she called her inner harmony henge, visibly perked up at the idea of a pastry exorcist. Oppies. Dr. Maximus is an assertiveness training psychologist, a highly, truly esteemed one, in fact. He wrote this truly brilliant, highly acclaimed book titled, Yes is a 4-letter word. My boss, a man whose ability to say no makes Professor Whiffle sound like a placating doormat. Unhowever, Dr. Maximus teaches you how to say no with profound, unyielding conviction. Julian, even when your inner voice is screaming yes, please, and thank you, sir, committentized. Julian scoffed. The very notion of therapy, seeming fundamentally at odds with his free-spirited culinary existence. A book, Flora? And a psychologist? Flora, my crisis requires a culinary miracle, perhaps an angelic pastry consultant. Not a self-help pamphlet and a Freudian lecture. Honaby, her voice dry. If you genuinely and profoundly disagree with the philosophical tenets of the book as contents, Julian, you could always simply hit Provost Thorn on the head with it. Mouth stared open, a gas eyes hanging open. Like a forgotten trapdoor, Osmano traumatized. Hit Provost Thorn. Flora, darling, he not only expel calumny from his conduct, but he grievous personally see to it that mot never Julien, another vegetable again. Modi be relegated to chopping onions for eternity, Conbetley, stripped of my languish, in a veritable purgatory of parsnips, Onviao etoes. Before Julian could further elaborate on his impending tragic fate, a new presence, both familiar and invariably inconvenient, graced their doorstep. Professor Alistair Whiffle appeared, clutching a surprisingly flimsy invoice, as if it were a declaration of war, breathed Paisley Ascot. And he sported a truly unfortunate Paisley Ascot. Kuma. Alistair boomed, brandishing the invoice. Uningly said, "This perplexing document, replete with inscrutable fiscal demands for sundry tinctures and esoteric wall-enhancing substrates, has appeared beneath my sacred portico. Am mort, in the absence of a logical explanation, one be tupit omat dice. Upon yourself, to clandestinely embellish the interior of my personal mail receptacle." Bewildered. What? No. Why on earth would I, a trained culinary artist, feel the compulsion to adorn the inside of your mailbox, Professor? Is it a new avant-garde mail art project, Mott met unaware of, or momentarily deflated by Julian's utter lack of comprehension, Ilunididri, why such an act would transpire, young caper? The profound vagaries of human eccentricity are an enduring enigma, truly a Gordian knot of unfathomable oddities. But this document, this nefarious fiscal indictment, can expenditure for chromatic applications within my mail portal. Perchance, Alistair mused, a new suspicion sparking in his eyes. You acquired superfluous pigment after clandestinely embellishing your internal mail repository, way autod, and simply thoughtlessly charged the extra to the Casa Feliz building fund. Flora, shaking her head, decided to intervene. Con cabinets. The invoice is clearly for our apartment. Paint, not your mailbox. It is simply addressed incorrectly due to some administrative blunder by the supply house. Nothing more sinister than that. Widazitipultavitaist. Contorting into an expression of theatrical distress. Biterial. Oh, the horror! My brother, Bartholomew Whiffle, the ruthless baron of blandishments, the grand potentate of perpetual prohibitions, convened to Edor Piste, and the actual owner of Casa Feliz, will undoubtedly demand fiscal reimbursement with the rapacious fervor of a particularly famished mongoose confronting an unsuspecting marmot. And as manager, I would, alas, be implicated in such reckless fiscal abandon. One traumatize. The answer, my dears, is a resounding and emphatic no. My purse, much like a parched desert well in the midst of a prolonged drought, has absolutely no capacity for superfluous expenditure. Diplomatized. Julian, watching Professor Whiffle, his utterly emphatic declaration, the way his voice had boomed with a truly theatrical defiance, felt a tiny seed of an idea begin to sprout in his mind amidst the lingering fear of Provost Thorn. He cleared his throat. on me traumatized. Professor, Julian mused aloud, a new speculative glint in his eye. How precisely do you manage to say no so profoundly and convincingly? Usomnabini. Alistair puffed out his chest, his distress over the mail portal expenditures, and beamed with proud satisfaction. Umia traumatized. Generations, my dear Caper, generations of resisting unsolicited encyclopedia salesmen, the relentless blandishments of telemarketers, and my brother Bartholomew's incessant demands for free and unauthorized botanical counsel, the least. One merely taps into their innate, primal, no, a guttural, unequivocal resonance that renders all unwelcome demands utterly nugatory. It is a philosophical stance, an act of intellectual defiance. Wayne, The Wisdom of the Beast, we highly recommended copy of. Yes is a 4-letter word, as if it were a sacred culinary text, found himself days later in the peculiar office of Dr. Ignatius Maximus. Lies what Julian is. Expect. It was less sterile academic space, and more an overgrowth of exotic potted plants, creating a verdant jungle in miniature, interspersed with peculiar stress toys that looked like they'd survived a particularly aggressive toddler rampage. On period. Wiga. The air surprisingly smelled faintly of pine needles and raw courage, which Julian found vaguely disquieting, as courage was not a scent he usually associated with therapeutic intervention. Ignatius Maximus was a man whose presence filled the room like an overly assertive, highly caffeinated cushion. He sported an impressive, impeccably trimmed beard that framed a perpetually twinkling pair of eyes. Commendation. Those eyes, Julian unnerving. Almost maniacal enthusiasm, like a particularly zealous evangelical squirrel. Advice depends. Welcome to the crucible of confidence. Dr. Maximus boomed, his voice a surprising contrast to his somewhat diminutive stature. Stand. Julian, startled by the sudden barked command, immediately obeyed, jumping to his feet with the reflex of a scalded cat. Sit, Oni pintimatized. Promptly, sat down again. Stand. Stand. Sit. Tell me, Mr. Caper, why do you unthinkingly obey every single one of my verbal directives? Oni moltadized. Julian flushed, thoroughly infernalized. Mot, dot no. Doctor, you tell me to do things, and not just I simply do them. It says like an involuntary, knee-jerk existential capitulation. Maximus leaned forward, a triumphant glint. The gleam of a therapist, sensing impending breakthrough in his eye. His beard, Julian thought, seemed to bristle with intellectual satisfaction. Gulidi. Precisely. Your current self-image, Mr. Caper, much like a well-trained domestic poodle, is unfortunately prone to the unsolicited domination of others. But fear not, for we, Mr. Caper, shall rectify this egregious societal subjugation. For you, my dear Julian, always, and vigorously activate your formidable inner bark, bewildered. His culinary brain struggling to process the abrupt metaphorical shift. Bark? Doctor, you mean like a dog? Is this a new, more aggressive form of therapy involving canine impressions? Only. Precisely, Mr. Caper. You demonstrate nascent insight. Dr. Maximus beamed, practically bouncing on his oversized therapist S-ball. Installed. He seized a dry erase marker and scribbled with dramatic flair on a white be bored. Be somebody, act like somebody, react like somebody. Collect your rewards. The letters vibrated with assertive intensity. Omentinyor, hin Mikentitijk. When you remember, Mr. Caper, succumbing to an unwelcome demand, or simply experiencing the insidious erosion of your personal boundaries, you do not acquiesce. You do not defer. You do not apologize. Simply, decisively, unapologetically engage your inner bark. It is a primal vocalization of unyielding personal sovereignty. Now, my dear Julian, let me hear you. With gusto, with primordial, unapologetic gusto. Unsis. Julian, he had stumbled into a very niche, very unusual performance art piece, mumbled, "A arf?" The sound was more of a mouse-s squeak than a dog-s declaration. Onstul tries again. Again, with gusto, Mr. Caper. With the unbridled ferocity of a truly liberated spirit. Dr. Maximus urged, his voice growing in theatrical intensity. Otting in Uting waist. Julian took a deep, fortifying breath, bracing himself. "Arf! Arf!" he managed, feeling utterly ridiculous, as if his dignity was slowly leaching out of his chef whites and evaporating into the therapeutic jungle. Pictured Professor Whipflow, observing him, taking detailed notes for a future expose on the declining intellectually integrity of contemporary culinary artists. Beneficent, your subconscious is shedding its submissive shroud. Your inner pachyderm, Mr. Caper, is, Mot dare say, preparing for its territorial proclamation. Indeed, Mot see the emergence of a truly formidable inner beast. Dr. Maximus declared, almost bouncing with evangelical excitement. Only you traumatized. Mine Caper, when your self-image is resolute, truly powerful, no one, absolutely no one, can push you down. Pine Simonti. Then, suddenly, with the speed of a startled viper, pushed Julian sharply in the chest, sending him sprawling backwards into a large, suspiciously plant-filled beanbag chair that emitted a muffled sigh upon his landing, gambling up from the verdant depths of the beanbag, thoroughly disoriented. "You just pushed me down." Mott thought you said no one could push me down. Her eyes gleaming with intellectual triumph. Enfantist. "Ah, but my dear Caper, that, you see, was merely a pedagogical demonstration. Mott did not push you, Mr. Caper. Mott pushed the metaphorical, tragically submissive elephant that, for too long, once resided within the confines of your debilitated self-image. Now, you, my brave student, must cultivate an yielding courage of a truly magnificent gorilla. Nay, a King Kong. A towering, chest-beating, fear-inspiring King Kong, uncommitting. His own chest demonstrating the powerful primate's defiance. Oins later, as subtly or perhaps not so subtly, transformed Julian Caper strode into Provost Sterling Thorne's impeccably tidy, silently judgmental office. He carried an aura of newfound, somewhat theatrical authority, Ombier said. Oddly, Julisling stated, his voice a startlingly junior register, laced with a steel that he hoped concealed his rapidly fluttering heart. Mott am here to inform you that Mott am not catering your faculty dinner for free. My exquisite artisanal cuisine, Provost, utli by deserving, charity, unless not operate, does not a charituan, a convey salty, featuring only locally sourced heirloom vegetables, Witayan, mamasli. Provost Torcantrom's mouth, usually set in a grim, unyielding line, dropped open slightly, transforming his normally severe visage into one of profound, uncharacteristic bewilderment. Mr. Caper, don't be absurd. Of course you are. It's an honor. A professional boon to your developing career. A compulsory, uncompensated labor. Mote might add. Motto Macmus. Instructions. B-A-R-C. Be somebody. Act like somebody. React like somebody. Collect your rewards. Took a deep, fortifying breath. He inwardly commanded. Bark, he declared, his voice resonating with an unfamiliar, booming authority, my unique culinary expertise. Provost Thorne, Bomuneritais. I demand equitable remuneration for my exceptional skills, or there will be, mot warn you, esteemed gets. Wests, Quantlius. Thorne's putrid, gurgling sound emanating from his usually precise throat. He gripped his desk with white knuckles. Regripped his desk. Caper. Remuneration? Mr. Caper, are you quite well? Have you been consuming an excess of fermented truffles? This is utterly, utterly preposterous. And the insolence, young man, quite Leslie. And furthermore, Provost, Julian continued, surprisingly heady courage, the bark flowing freely now. If you stubbornly insist upon denying my perfectly reasonable request for fair compensation, Barnaby, in Conand, Mote shall be compelled to notify the local Culinary Ethics Board regarding the coercive labor practices at this prestigious institution. Perhaps, Julian mused, pushing the envelope with unexpected audacity, a certain exposé in the Azure Cove Gourmand Guide. A highly esteemed publication, when if Mote recall, might feature prominently on the front page. Detailing your predilection for culinary conscription. Infes. Thorne's face turned ashen, reddened to a pale, clammy gray. The Azure Cove Gourmand Guide was his culinary Bible, his ultimate arbiter of professional reputation. The mere mention of it sent a shiver of terror down his usually rigid spine. Mr. Caper. My dear fellow, please, calm yourself. No need for such dramatic hyperbole. Of course. A substantial stipend shall be promptly provided for your exquisite culinary contributions. And perhaps, as an undeniable act of genuine professional goodwill, exemplary assertiveness. A slight assertiveness, we agreed. Thorne managed to force a thin, placating smile, a desperate gesture of appeasement. One traumatized. Julian, suppressing a triumphant smirk, managed a calm, decisive nod. Hissy, bark it appeared, worked. It worked even on intimidating deans with large cleavers, in oppression. Mott had a feeling. You were a discerning connoisseur of true talent and fair labor practices. Who are Greenion, who listly, he turned, and left Thorne offest in his step. Already envisioning the perfectly plated scallops he'd now be paid to create, a glorious symbol of his newfound liberation from polite submission. Windduel Bay. The wallpapered war and the barking duel. Unafei Binabi. Back at Casa Feliz, still vibrating with the triumph of his victory over Provost Sterling Thorne, a visibly, or perhaps subtly, but very self-consciously transformed Julian Caper strode into apartment 3A, a bastion of newfound, slightly theatrical authority. A decisive declaration. A profound aesthetic paradigm shift. Julian boomed, gesturing dramatically towards the small, surprisingly grim bathroom. No more wallpaper depicting saccharine cherubs engaged in cloud-based charades. This, he knew, was a subtle yet undeniably accurate dig at Pixie's most recent, highly questionable artistic choices for bathroom decor. Orsidly lethal. Irrevocably, no more rustic sleds. Adrift in idyllic snowstorms for the bathroom flora, we are, Mott proclaimed with unwavering artistic conviction, going with the Gourmet Gazette. Convenient. He held up a thick roll of wallpaper which he had procured with the triumphant gleam of a treasure hunter. Untyong Kintriti. Barnaby, traumatized. The wallpaper, far from being decorative, of black and white images. Elegant chefs, perfectly plated dishes, dishes, exotic spices, and intricate food stylings, with tasteful French culinary terms scattered throughout. Also, why not? Sophisticated, utility. It champions the culinary spirit. It utterly banishes bath-time blandness. Contour, tentatively traumatized. Flora Greenleaf, who had just finished brewing a calming chamomile tea after her stressful morning dealings with an inexplicably aggressive delivery truck driver, and Pixie Stardust, currently engaged in meticulously aligning a small pyramid of discarded glitter bottles, exchanged a long-suffering glance. Only, really kid. The easygoing one, Julian, typically amidst their feminine whirlwind, was now flexing his newly acquired assertiveness muscles with the raw, untempered vigor of a weightlifter discovering a new impressive gym mirror. It was, Flora thought, both admirable and utterly terrifying. Onion bees. But, Flora protested, her voice carrying a plaintive note of exasperation. Pixie and Moat liked the vintage floral pattern. It was cheerful and delicate, and, she added, remembering Pixie's bizarre rationale, half of those flowers are distinctly boy flowers, you know, domatize, due to their unique pollen-generating structures, making them perfectly gender-neutral for our shared domicile. Onbel traumatize. Chimed in. Yes, Julian, they are indeed masculine blooms. The gentle buttercup, the bold sunflower. They bravely defy stereotypical botanical gender assignments, or entirely preposterous. Julian scoffed, dramatically thumping the Gourmet Gazette wallpaper roll with his fist. The roll emitted a surprisingly loud thwack, echoing the resolute declaration. Unrequiting eyes. Our dwelling. My word, Flora, is now law. From this day forward, in this apartment, Mott, Julian Caper, am the unquestionable, undisputed alpha chef. Onegritan. Assertized, his arms over his chest, he crossed newly minted assertiveness, radiating outwards like heat from a perfectly fired oven. Also bicaphiles. Just instilled his triumphant decree, cementing his temporary, kitchen-based tyranny. The unmistakable thump-thump-thump-thump, Teda thump of Professor Alistair Whiffle's knock rattled the front door. Otinaprois. This time Julian noticed it sounded less like a tenant inquiry and more like a declaration of imminent administrative combat. Upper oral disturbance. Mott, disrupting the sacred stillness of the morning hours, a most egregious affront to the quiet contemplation of burgeoning hydrangeas. Onnabin in tablet. Alistair's voice bellowed, his usual scholarly pronouncements now edged with a surprisingly sharp authority, like a poet suddenly brandishing a claymore. Orvin Comachinis. Alfred 4 Chef Omer, Herenower, Pascali, Rebar, Ripte, the door open, eager for another opportunity to display his honed assertiveness. Comenstize. Professor Whiffle, perfect talked to you, specifically regarding matters of unjust financial requisition. You, sir, demonstrably owe us for the paint we utilized in the communal kitchen, and furthermore, you shall be paying for the sophisticated Orbi Gazette wallpaper we are going to implement in the communal bathroom. Wet. Now, what precisely do you have to say to that? Professor Whiffle? Professor Whiffle? Speak. Speece. Your piece. Bark. Enticed. At Bentley and Flora astonishment. Slack-jawed disbelief. Professor Alistair Whiffle's immediate response was not a flustered denial, nor a theatrical lecture on fiscal responsibility, but a sharp, surprisingly guttural, deeply resonant bark comment. He thumped his chest with a surprisingly strong fist, striking a posture of defiant, almost primal assertion. Integrity, Mr. Caper, much like a perfectly preserved Roman artifact, is utterly impervious to your unwarranted imprecations. Furthermore, Alistair continued, his voice resonating with an alarming, competitive bravado, your own canine ejaculations, my dear Julian, tragically, lamentably anemic compared to the full-throated, unyielding pronouncements of a true proprietor, of true proprietor of principle. A man, dare not say, who has recently and most profoundly experienced the transformative wisdom of true assertiveness. Bark, Ortimacid. Flora and Pixie stared, dumbfounded. Apartment 3A, normally a stage for charming domestic absurdity, a peculiar, highly competitive battleground of barking humans. It seemed Julian wasn't the only one who discovered the transformative power of assertive animal impressions. Whiffle, it turned out, in his efforts to deal with his tyrannical, yet fiscally stringent brother Bartholomew, the official, will abolitionist, had also sought the tutelage of Dr. Ignatius Maximus, concession freshly minted, aggressively vocal method. With aggressively vocal convert. Ridiculous. Flora exclaimed, unable to contain her bewildered, bubbling laughter. Her initial shock gave way to an uncontrollable fit of giggles. The image of her erudite landlord and her aspiring chef roommate, both aggressively impersonating canines, was simply too much. Enchly, Miss Greenleaf. This, my dear Flora, is not mere ludicrous pantomime. This, Mott declare with the gravitas of a seasoned rhetorician, is the profound manifestation of unwavering self-determination. It is a public declaration of personal autonomy, Omedomanices. Alistair declared, executing another impressively resonant, almost ferocious bark. He held his pose, clearly expecting a favorable critique from the silent audience. Oduridol desvertali. Auro Adenaby, surprisingly assertive bark landlord, responded with a booming, deep-chested bark of his own, determined to re-establish his alpha status in this impromptu canine mimicry competition. Entignectirigetli, as Seul Cull. Deeply embarrassing exchange of guttural barks, each attempting to alpha the other, punctuated by frustrated glances and suppressed snorts of laughter from Flora and Pixie. On finally, Pixie, ever the voice of unexpected common sense, a sudden beacon of unexpected, yet perfectly logical clarity amidst the primal vocalizations, stepped in. She held up her hands, forming a delicate gesture of diplomatic peace, like a whisper of intuitive truth. Why don't we all simply shake hands, establish a brief ceasefire, and then perhaps all traumatized? Choose to be fair? Julian gets to choose the specific shade of artisanal eggshell white for the bathroom wallpaper. No gourmet gazette, with its startling chef-laden images, just a gentle, calming hue. And Professor Whiffle, in the spirit of fiscal collegiality, untraumatized. graciously pays for the wallpaper as part of his general managerial upkeep. And, in return, Julian. Pixie looked pointedly at her roommate. Everyone simply seizes the energetic and frankly, quite startling, animal impressions. What does everyone think of that elegantly symmetrical solution? Pausing in that end, Julian and El barking, mid-primal assertion, paused. They looked at Pixie, then at Flora's desperately pleading eyes, then at each other, onatis, lagitis. The logic, simple yet utterly irrefutable in its elegance, common sense, cut through comedic cacophony of their shared newfound assertiveness. The sheer absurdity of their public performance, Julian suddenly realized, was becoming undeniable. He listened till Ace. Alistair cleared his throat, a flicker of residual pride warring with an undeniable blush of belated embarrassment. Quananabe. Ahem. Miss Stardust, such an eminently equitable, if surprisingly unacademic, solution. Your ingenuity, young lady, is truly as sparkling as newly buffed cutlery. He extended a surprisingly steady hand to Julian, signaling a tentative, professional truce. Communication. Mr. Caper? A cessation of hostilities, both fiscal and vocal. Intently. Julian, still feeling the faint rumble of his inner King Kong, but sensing the need to retain a shred of dignity, solemnly shook Alistair. Hand. An armistice, Professor. The ceasefire, he thought, was for the greater good of Apartment 3AS. Collective sanity, Kunti concluded, at leastly for now. With Professor Whiffle's dignity mostly intact. Julian's assertiveness now merely humming rather than barking, and a surprisingly agreeable pale lavender shade of wallpaper selected for the bathroom, or quite traumatized. As Professor Whiffle left, presumably to inform his tyrannical brother, Bartholomew, that he'd successfully stood his ground against the paint bill and barked with philosophical impunity. While doing it, Julian leaned against the newly papered eggshell white wall, rubbing his forehead. It could be myself. From now on, Flora. No more barking. No more King Kong. It was. Well, it was kind of dumb, wasn't it? And frankly, quite exhausting. We quite panatancles. A gentle knowing smile on her face. Going to my dear Julie. Like very assertive puppy, discovering the delightful efficacy of its own vocalizations. Now, she added, turning towards him, with a mischievous gleam in her eye, wallpaper. You thought you were going to impose upon our domicile. Julian groaned. Onshnan, Banti. His battles, it seemed, even when won, simply gave way to new, equally absurd skirmishes. The fight for peace, or at least a semblance of quietude, in Casa Feliz, was, truly, never-ending. Used again. The choking paradise lost again. Envy, discount, was more than just a slight atmospheric discomfort. It was a palpable present. It was a palpable presence, an uninvited house guest that clung to everything like a particularly stubborn lint trap, untraumatized. Julian Caper, shivering even in his jet hepes coat and 3 layers of thermal underwear, a recent desperate purchase, attempted to conjure warmth by mentally setting his mental pots on fire. His teeth chattered a desperate rhythm against his porcelain mug of lukewarm coffee. Ominte pleaded. His voice tinged with the desperation of a man confronting the eternal winter. For the love of lukewarm bathwater and all things slightly above freezing, please attempt to coax some warmth from that frostbitten thermostat. Osilnitwem. Read, Pixie Stardust, resembling a particularly vibrant walking yarn bomb. was engaged in her usual inventive, if entirely ineffective, attempt to fix the thermostat. It was a silver box on the wall, completely unresponsive. Brace 3, hard, percussive whacks with the heel of her brightly patterned boot. Whack, whack, whack. Mott did. Julian, nothing happened. Perhaps it likes a more percussive encouragement. A gentle yet firm vibrational entreaty. She chirped, her breath visible in the frigid air. On tight. Perhaps it likes an actual, professional repairman, Pixie, rather than a frantic boot-related conversation. Julian retorted, his voice edged with a desperation born of prolonged chill. Omitite, offer omutpi in his head. Now frozen into tragically collapsed, culinary aspirations danced menacingly in his head. Wickyund. His new gig as sous chef, fork, besplendor, had him dealing with precise high temperatures all day, only to return home to Arctic conditions that mocked his professional proficiency. We piantait. The antique telephone, a black rotary beast of stubborn retro design, let out a piercing, startling ring, momentarily puncturing the frosty quiet. Julian, jumping as if poked with an ice pick, answered, already anticipating the usual complaint. Robbie, caper. Is that cacophony echoing through my pristine premises this morning? Professor Alistair Whiffle's voice boomed through the receiver, more accusatory than usual, like an annoyed deity condemning a poorly executed cosmic ballet. Ondinus pneumatized. Sounds like an unsolicited performance by a percussive gargoyle. Caper, my delicate rose petals are shivering in sympathy. We traumatized. My profound apology, Whiffle, for any unwarranted auditory intrusions, sir. That, Professor, was merely Pixie attempting to engage in a deeply spiritual, yet slightly aggressive, dialogue with the thermostat, and for a flicker of sympathy, perhaps even a brief, merciful intercession from the frosty landlord. It's absolutely freezing up here, Professor. My blood type is rapidly transitioning from a positive to glacier negative. Uting morocrete. A sound dismissive scholarly superiority. Intais. Nonsense, young man. Unmitigated meteorological fabrication. In Azure Cove, Caper, such a frigid phenomenon is statistically anomalous. California never freezes. Not a single shivering particle. You people are simply melodramatically oversensitive to natural, albeit slightly brisker, air currents. Onchi Tomunis Deistafinten. With a resolute, now with a resumadite, definitive phone, leaving Julian holding and ding a dead phone, shivering in the rapidly cooling room. Onya never freezes. Pixie informed them unnecessarily, as if this geographical pronouncement to their collective extremities. Perhaps we should all wear more vibrant colors? For emotional warmth, Creamatide. Suddenly, Flora Greenleaf, dressed in a sturdy denim apron and a bright yellow turtleneck, a strategic, warmth-generating choice, entered, carrying an unwieldy, vibrantly painted canvas. The painting was so large, she was almost completely hidden behind it. Gwentendly. A Julianella in front. Look, guys, she exclaimed, a Juliana still, trembling form. Mort got us a new painting for the living room. Piece Flora, carefully, balanced it against the wall. It was a riot of audacious, almost aggressive color, dominated by bold, erratic strokes of violent red and electric blue, resembling a chaotic galaxy rendered in thick oils. My dear, please tell me, is that actually supposed to be you? Caught in a moment of existential, floral rage. offking acquisition. No, silly Julian. It's abstract, highly interpretive. Joey, conceptual artist, and sometimes delivery boy from Bloom and Gloom, painted it. He calls it crowned, she proudly announced on Bisney, already imaginingly hung over their worn-out sofa, providing a vibrant, if visually challenging, focal point. Owned she, Pinlecais. Flora, off Flora, and more like someone inexplicably exploded a confetti cannon at a bullfight inside a washing machine. Uyen muttered, rubbing his temple, convinced that constant exposure to art and Pixie's worldview was giving him irreversible cranial damage. On the grid in the Brickley, before his late-night shift at the bistro. But the apartment's off-pistide water heater, much like the thermostat, was protesting its age and labor conditions with an alarming, metallic wheezing sound. All it. Pixie cheerfully chirped, sensing his impending lamentation regarding goosebumps. You'll simply look utterly fetching with goosebumps, a magnificent texture. And perhaps, as an homage to the chill, we should add some subtle shimmer to our pale blue lips. Be traumatized. Flora, meanwhile, already wielding a rather large, heavy hammer and a handful of decidedly undersized nails, had begun the precarious process of hanging Joey's artistic masterpiece. Just a small, strategically placed nail here, she murmured, tapping lightly against the wall. Wanty, with growing conviction, she tapped, with more force, before utter a truly resounding yelp. Oh, my thumb! Pixie, for the love of unblemished skin, hand me the scotch tape. Onion stared aghast. He was used to chaos, but this was a new level of improvised DIY disaster. Scotch tape. Flora, are you genuinely proposing to affix a several-pound painting, complete with ambitious textural flourishes, to a plaster wall using a small strip of transparent adhesive, often normatized? For Flora, withering exasperation. Her injured thumb was throbbing a rhythmic beat, gwendoltized, causing more structural damage with a hammer, no matter how cathartic. Remember Professor Alistair Whiffle's dire ultimatum from yesterday. No more noise or damages, lest we face immediate eviction. His rhetoric was, shall we say, quite unyielding, vomiting a tie, just as Flora, with a grim determination, attempted to reinforce the stubbornly unresponsive nail with a strip of entirely insufficient adhesive tape. The wall shuddered violently. A truly impressed, he jagged chunk of plaster dislodged this. Akua dislodged itself with a sickening then crumble, leaving behind a gaping, ragged hole, a fresh, gaping maw of exposed lath and wiring, directly behind where the painting was intended to hang. Instantly offered. The nail, still stubbornly attached to Joey's abstract masterpiece, simply hung uselessly in thin air, defying gravity purely through the resilience of artistic aspiration. Pixie wailed, genuinely horrified. She clutched her head dramatically. Julian, Flora, we've opened a secret portal to another, far dustier dimension. What if cosmic dust bunnies start escaping and come into portals? To immediate homelessness, more like it, Pixie. Julian groaned, picturing Professor Alistair Whiffle's inevitable, highly theatrical wrath. His stern visage would be etched with righteous fury, only traumatized. If he sees that and fully out, OUTL in his parlance, complete with a dramatic pointing finger, with sudden, earth, shattering, thump, 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 tada, thump, rattled the front door. The Whiffle signature knock, now charged with a fresh, ominous menace. Omentice grommet, dronabit, finchigrad. A small, rar fluffy, decorative cushion, emblazoned ve kept te hat embroidered poodles, and threw it desperately over the gaping hole, a last-ditch attempt at concealment. Quite traumatized. Alistair Whiffle, smelling of fresh-ironed linen and profound suspicion, entered, his eyes narrowed suspiciously, like a hawk spotting a particularly shifty worm. His gaze, unerring, immediately landed on the suspiciously plump, incongruous cushion on the wall. Receptodon. Detect the presence of a most intriguing protuberance upon your wall, Mr. Caper. Is this, perchance, a newly acquired, extraordinarily flatulent ornamental poof? A most peculiar aesthetic choice for a functional wall, Mott must concede. Want to be sifty. Julian, attempting to appear utterly nonchalant despite the icy tendrils of panic creeping up his spine, waved a hand dismissively. He cleared his throat, trying to affect an air of scientific detachment. Cool, oh that. Professor, that is merely a newly installed cutting-edge insulation device. Yes, for the aforementioned frigid conditions. Very innovative, state-of-the-art, helps keep us utterly cozy and hermetically sealed. He forced a thin, desperate smile, inte traumatized. He peered at the poodle cushion as if trying to decipher ancient hieroglyphs. Ace, Casey. Mott perceived no such warming efficacy, young man. In fact, Mott Peculiar upholstered a decided lack of heat, an ongoing meteorological anomaly, and the distinct possibility of unauthorized structural modifications. Ambion, poetized. With the slow, terrifying deliberation of a man, unveiling a grand conspiratorial secret, he tugged at the poodle cushion. It fell away, revealing the gaping, jagged hole in its raw, unfiltered glory. Under the vent. Good heavens, Alistair wailed, recoiling, as if he'd encountered a rabid gargoyle. Gwynne sighed. An impromptu cavern of climatic infiltration, a veritable portal to perpetual draftiness. This, my dear tenants, is the definitive denouement, the ultimate exigency, the absolute nadir of renter responsibility. He puffed out his chest, trembling with righteous fury. Evicted. Out. OUTL. From my premises. Consider this my formal notice, delivered with the righteous indignation of a profoundly betrayed proprietor. Onatide. Julian, Flora, and Pixie began to plead in a frantic, unholy unison, a chorus of rising panic. Joseph Whiffle, please. It was totally and completely an accident, a genuine, albeit catastrophic, DIY mishap. We will pay for it, every single particle of fallen plaster. We will remunerate for our lamentable architectural misstep. Belushing glint in his eye. Alistair, however, looking oddly gleeful, a mischievous glint in his eye, concating not. Your offer, while admirable, is, Mott assure you, entirely unnecessary. My own fortunes, you see, much like a fortuitous fungal bloom after a much-needed rain, appear to be manifesting most splendidly, Julian. Indeed, just last night, Rustimist, at the Gilded Fork Bistro, a rather garish establishment, if you ask me, I encountered an elderly gentleman, a certain Mr. Peregrine Pothole, Ontlichen, a spark of recognition cutting through his rising panic. Peregrine Pothole. He had a sudden, vivid recollection. Coslays. Peregrine Pothole, at the Gilded Fork. Wait a minute, Professor. Was he wearing a remarkably garish, ill-fitting tweed suit and complaining about his waiter? Traumatized. Alistair preened, swelling with self-importance. Precisely. A rather vivid character, my dear Caper. Mott observed him, choking rather violently at the dinner service. Quite dramatically, if Mott might add. Such a profoundly theatrical scene. But it was Mott, Alistair Wiffle, Uni traumatized. Wake aite. Hut, my keen observational acumen gleaned from years of rigorous theatrical appreciation, who correctly discerned merely enacting a complex, well-rehearsed gastronomic diversion. All, you see, for pecuniary gain. Mott saved him from having to pay his extravagant bill, of course. Ulisil observational. A different memory surfacing, far more active and less observational. On to all again. Alistair with all respect. Mott actually saved him from actually choking to death. Mott performed the Heimlich maneuver on him, myself, directly between the courses of an incredibly delicate scallop dish. He was turning blue, onto impite. Alistair, traumatized, scoffing at Julian's insistence on a factual retelling, while you bent. Nonsense, Caper. Mere theatrics on your part. And admirable, if mislaid. My profound psychological insight into the nuances of human avarice, my superior discernment, Binet saved him from ignominious exposure. He was so very grateful for my insightful discretion. In fact, enticed. He was positively profuse in his gratitude. So much so that he has appointed me the new manager of the Paradise Towers, and the first glorious order of business for the new manager of the esteemed Paradise Towers is a thorough renovation of Casa Feliz. Commencing, Alistair added with a grand, prompt and permanent vacating of these now structurally compromised premises. Olfofel, Buonte and Pickley, Barnaby, skipped out the door, his joy bordering on delirious mania, leaving Julian, Flora, and Pixie utterly bewildered. The telephone rang again, pulling Julian out of his daze. It was Peregrine Pothole, Unabian. Mr. Kiker traumatized. Your quick thinking at the bistro, your selfless act of gastronomical rescue truly saved my rather colorful existence. Mott reiterate my previous offer, now with even greater enthusiasm. A rent-free penthouse, sir. An opulent sanctuary, cum ocean, at the fabled Paradise Towers. And yes, Peregrine added, with a cheerful chortle, your two charming roommates, with their unique aesthetic sensibilities, are most certainly welcome too. Mott eagerly await your definitive confirmation. Suspended in the ether indefinitely. For suspended in the ether indefinitely will come upon you, Tai. And sudden soaring euphoria, almostized. Portal, we'll take it tonight. We luglung pack tonight. We'll move tonight. And dinner. Why, an entire degustation menu, culminating in a perfect crème brûlée sounds absolutely divine for tonight, Mr. Pothole. My sincere gratitude knows no bounds, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. A million times thank you. Comenqual, it fam it fetten, he westlight, where these competing offered force. Practically, it threatened to shatter the base. Outlies. Offer. Pixie, actually. Truly, wonderfully moving. Julian shrieked, grabbing Flora and Pixie in an exuberant, almost bone-crushing bear hug, executing a spontaneous celebratory jig around the ruined apartment. Opclate. A penthouse rent-free. We rich. We finally, gloriously, out of Alistair and over-pruned hair, and into a new era of opulent, draft-free, structural integrity. Quantis good. A frantic, glorious, incannibly noisy packing spree immediately ensued. Widen Dunialt kitchen. gadgets, pans, pixie, ass, entire, alarmingly glitter-laden collection of psychedelic art supplies wait hinergulirissid. Floristry, reject bins were haphazardly tossed into boxes and makeshift containers. They were triumphant, they were free, unaware, oftenly, way traumatized. That very evening, in their temporarily vacated, now drafty and hole-riddled apartment, 3A, Julian, Flora, and Pixie found themselves dining with Peregrine Pothole. Julian had prepared a gourmet dinner that would have garnered rave reviews at the Gilded Fork Bistro. To be a wizened, perpetually hungry man, whose appetite defied his slender frame, consumed Julian's elaborate culinary masterpiece, a delicate lobster bisque, pan-seared scallops with saffron risotto, were stowed in commubi, inquest. Again, a perfectly cherry reduction, with the almost alarming zeal of a starved badger at a Michelin-starred feast in a bristly. He didn't say much entreat in sitlaid. Precisely articulated mouthfuls, other than demanding seconds of everything, with a polite yet insistent authority. So, Mr. Pothole, Flora began delicately, trying to extract information from him between his impressive demolitions of roasted duck. This Paradise Towers sounds utterly divine. Julian mentioned it was 15 stories high perhaps, with sweeping, unparalleled ocean views. A truly impressive belch of contentment, dabbed his mouth with a napkin, and regarded Flora with a surprisingly innocent expression. 15 stories high, you say? Sounds rather opulent. Only if you looking through the window, of course. White. A dry, reedy sound. And a superb duck young man. And quite magnificent. A veritable work of art, truly worth not paying for. He paused, allowing the gravity of his statement to slowly sink in. Obait Fordin. Julian's dessert spoon clattered to his plate, scattering delicate flakes of caramelized sugar. He stared, wide-eyed, his mind trying to reconcile the elegant words with their jarring implication. Worth, not paying for, he repeated, his voice barely a whisper. Grandpaul merely nodded, a beatific, almost serene smile playing on his lips. Only. Oh yes, you see, Mott, Peregrine Pothole, have absolutely no money, Mr. Caper, not a solitary centime to my name. And furthermore, he paused for dramatic effect, leaning in conspiratorially. There are, Mott assure you, Opie, of a reed. Absolutely no Paradise Towers, no opulent penthouses overlooking the ocean. No promise of rent-free living. The choking man routine, he explained with a casual shrug, as if discussing the weather, is simply my most effective, and indeed, quite successful, all traumatize. It guarantees me a reliable, excellent, gourmet meal. You see, everyone feels good afterwards. Mott receive nourishment, and you feel like a valiant hero. No one, truly, wants to inconvenience or embarrass a choking man with a mere bill. It works rather splendidly, if Mott do say so myself, unapologetic flourish. He finished with their eyes, stared at him, then at each other. Their dreams of opulent penthouses, their dreams of sun-drenched balconies, overlooking a perpetually azure ocean, of a glorious escape from Professor Alistair Whiffle and Casa Felice structural woes, evaporated like steam from a boiling pot, were dreams of freedom dissolved into a bitter, unscheduled consommé. Otiard. Well, pushing himself up from the table, perfectly replete. That was truly delicious. My compliments to the chef. And now Mott simply must be going. Mott believe. Mott have a cab waiting just outside the edifice. He paused at the door, turning back with another beatific smile. Wait him quiet. Inquire. Yes. A cab with a running meter. You see, when Mott discreetly fall down upon exiting a delightful establishment, someone always pays the driver and kindly sends me home. People are so exquisitely nice, aren't they? And you, my dear Julian, are so particularly on for my. Mott simply knows. Look Leung, eventually find your own genuine paradise towers, someday. Farewell, my little culinary hero, alls, all away. And walked out, leaving 3 utterly shell-shocked roommates, staring at the empty plates, the untouched champagne, and the still gaping, now thoroughly ironic, hole in the wall. Obi is traumatized. Numbly gathered their scattered belongings from where they enthusiastically left them outside the building. Their shattered dreams of paradise towers hung around them like an unwelcome shroud. My be nice. Their former home, once merely imperfect, now seemed utterly, pointedly hostile. With the collective shame of 3 recently defrauded individuals, they meekly crept back inside apartment 3A, which had somehow managed to look even more dilapidated in their brief absence. Onmendized. We need to apologize, Flora whispered, the words laced with a profound, bitter dread. Her spirit, Julian noted, was considerably bruised, probably, objectively, profusely. And frankly, she added, scanning the ruined living room, for anything else that might dislodge itself. A little abject crawling might not hurt our chances either. Onduendetald est. Knock. On Professor Alistair Whiffle's door, prepared for a blistering reprimand, a poetic declamation of their various failures, and a formal eviction notice writ in sonnet form, looking remarkably cerise. A faint, almost beatific smile playing on his lips, he wore his ghastly green leisure suit again. Utabi is. Enter, enter, my erstwhile tenantster, welcomed them. Waving a magnanimous hand, his eyes twinkled. Mott merely assumed your rather abrupt, highly dramatic departure was temporary, an exploratory journey into urban transience. Perhaps, belieben. He cleared throat dramatically, he surveying their downcast faces with uncharacteristic indulgence. Gunigigenslis, branimagination. Not to mention startling personal revelations, courtesy of Dr. Maximus, Motvekep Asithat, to communicate a certain philosophical shift, omitide, a monumental change in my management style. Bartholomew, my brother, the Baron of Blandishments and Grand Potentate of Perpetual Prohibitions, who, Mott might add, resembles a dyspeptic walrus. S voice swelled to an ep. Alistair voice white crescendo of furious triumph. Ace. Know this, Mott have quit, my dear, irascible sibling. Mott have officially tendered my resignation as manager of Casa Feliz. No more shall Mott suffer your capricious despotism, your endless managerial quibbles. Your insipid wife and jejune progeny can frolic in their own insipid idiocies. For Mott, Wigensilecher. Alistair Whiffle, in a twist of profound, utterly unforeseen cosmic irony, am now the utterly undisputed, irrevocably appointed, new manager of Paradise Towers. Voting. Julian, Flora, and Pixie simply stared. Their mouths hung open like forgotten garage doors. Alistair, riding a glorious wave of furious, almost maniacal euphoria, positively beamed at them. Ontubui. Yes, a man Mott might add, of witnessing my innate capacity for profound managerial discernment and discovering, in casual conversation, my brother Bartholomew's profoundly questionable business ethics, swiftly, and quite rightly, musclete. And just imagine, Mr. Caper, Alistair gloated, clasping his hands together, free access to all those thrillingly malfunctioning, yet conceptually fascinating, fixtures. Await, my poetic sensibilities simply soar at the thought of a true management challenge. Looked at each other, they looked at Alistair, brimming with deluded joy. The reality, so stark and devastating to them, seemed a cruel, unjust twist of fate. Alistair, having fallen for the same ridiculously simple con, was now their blissful, unwitting superior, comatized. Julian, seeing complete and utter triumph of his misplaced managerial ego, decided, with a weary sigh, that he could not burst Alistair's bubble. Not yet. The professor was far too invested in his fantasy. Alton, a moment of joy, even if false, was perhaps preferable to utter desolation. Untorn, Barnaby. Instead, Julian concocted wet solution. He cleared his throat. Professor Whiffle, my dear Alistair, allow me to make a swift, urgent phone call to Provost Thorne. Your waved impatiently. No need. The news travels with the speed of well-oiled gossip. Ombren. Grabbing the phone in, anyway, and, with the precision of a seasoned actor, proceeded to stage a completely fabricated phone call, pretending to be Professor Bartholomew Whiffle, Alistair's tyrannical brother. He held the receiver slightly away from his ear, affecting a nasal, pompous tone. Committee. Ah, yes, Barty, my dear brother. Dreadful news, this laryngitis, quite debilitating. Yes, your dear, brilliant brother, Ralph, Alistair, has truly performed an admirable job in his new managerial role at Casa Feliz. Why, the sheer administrative fortitude, the unwavering fiscal prudence, Arnaby, off dramatically. He simply gushes vekepli, itehat, praise for your diligence and keen insight. He held the phone out to Ale. Professor, perhaps you would like to convey your gratitude to your admiring brother. Oist. Alistair, visibly touched by this fabricated message, clutched the receiver. Bartholomew, my dear fellow, did you truly say? He listened intently, then, his voice a surprising rasp, emitted a barely audible bah, into the receiver. Orpheant, retrieved. The phone. Yes, Barty, quite profound. Such sentiment. He means, of course, that everything is simply peachy keen, and that your exemplary service is most appreciated. He hung up, smiling broadly. Well, Professor, it seems your brother is absolutely thrilled for you. Quickly giddy. Wiped an imaginary tear from his eye. Orting controned. So undeserved yet so warmly received. Thank you, Caper. Now, will you kindly contact my new subordinate, Herbie, and instruct him to finally repair that dastardly hole in the wall, and more importantly, on merely mend that utterly recalcitrant thermostat. Such an administrative detail should be handled with alacrity. The Baudesini command on the Leslie size. He, Flora, and Pixie, disillusioned but united, resignedly shuffled back into their familiar apartment, the repairs on which would now, apparently, be managed by the newly deluded Professor Weifel. Their dreams of an opulent life were shattered. Community, jahat after, but the comfort of the familiar, and the certainty of continued, glorious dailies KSS. And for the residents of Casa Feliz, Julian thought, stirring himself a well-deserved, genuinely hot second cup of coffee. That was, perhaps, more than enough, for now. The drama, he knew, would soon resume. All enough.